Well, a very good afternoon and welcome along to Henson Park for round 4 of the 2018 Needful competition. Oh, I've got to tell you, this is the Van Morrison game. Mama always told me there'd be days like this. Top of the table clash between Sydney Uni and Southport. Both these sides are undefeated, which makes it even more special. My name is John O'Farr. I'll be your lead commentator this afternoon. Joining me in commentary, he made his debut at the SCG 3 weeks ago for the Swans and Giants. He makes his debut at Henson Park. Eddie Summerfield, good afternoon. Welcome to the coverage.
Good afternoon, John. A beautiful day, as you mentioned there. A bit of early rain here in Sydney this morning, but that looks to have cleared. There's a bit of a breeze at the ground going to the left-hand side of screen. I think it's about 2 or 3 goal breeze for whoever wins the toss there, but should be a cracking game. As you mentioned there, first versus second, both teams undefeated. It's going to be a good game. Oh,
it should be an absolute pearler. Both sides looking to keep that undefeated streak alive, and especially Sydney Uni because they've got the bye next week, and Southport next week they go on continue and their campaign in 2018. So it should be a great clash. There's a couple of changes, a few outs, just the one for Southport, and of course that's Dylan Mutu. He is out of the side for the Southport side, and there's 3 changes for the Sydney Uni: Foster, Sirakowski, and there is one other which I will get to in a second. But a great clash here today. Both these sides trying to keep their undefeated streak going. Who do you see and by how much?
Well, it's interesting, as you mentioned there. We've got the students, they're coming off a road trip to Northern Territory last week. A reasonably big win over the Territory as the toss of the coin happened. Sydney Uni winning the toss, and they'll be kicking to the left-hand side of screen, or with the wind, as I mentioned. Southport, they had a good win over Aspley last week, but their kicking a goal this year has been not great, to be very fair. They've kicked 43-46. Last week, 12 goals, 23. So that's something they'll be looking to work on. It'll be tough today with this wind, as we've mentioned. Mitch Johnson, he's been in fantastic form with the boot. He's kicked 10 for the season, so they'll be looking for him up forward. For the students, we've seen Tom Young. He kicked a bag. I think you mentioned he kicked about 4 goals here a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Up forward, they've got many options. Derrick's, Bonnie. And into the side, as you mentioned there, we've got Xavier Richards, Craig Bird. Their first games for the season today for the students. So it's all set up to be a really good game as players break from their opening huddles.
Yeah, the 2 players that I failed to mention there that are omitted for Sydney Uni are Aaron Day and I knew I'd forget that name when it came to me. The other player, Aaron Day, is out for the side, and Lewis Stevenson, who is still on the injury list. So those 2 players out for Sydney Uni. So this will be an interesting clash. I like Southport in this game. Sydney Uni, geez, they're going to come at them, at the Sharks, but I really like Sydney Uni to cause a few troubles, but I think Southport will get the job done in full time.
I'm going to go the complete opposite way. I think the depth that the students have brought in this week, as I mentioned a second ago, home ground advantage as well. They've been playing really good footy the first couple of weeks, and they've got the bye next week, so they'll be wanting to go into that with the win.
So we're almost set for a start. John O'Farr and Eddie Summerfield, your callers here for this afternoon. Magnificent conditions for football here at Henson Park. It was a really terrible weather-wise morning, but it's turned into a beautiful afternoon. The final siren sounds. We're almost set for a start here. And Sean Edwards and Dylan Fife are getting ready for the bounce of the ball. There it is. We're underway in the top of the table clash. Pushed away beautifully. Tommy Young just tried to get it off the carpet, but Southport go to ground, and there'll be another ball up. There'll be plenty of rucking, I'd say, today. A bit of push and shove early doors, but geez, this should be one for the purists, Ed.
So tossed up in the middle. We're still waiting for that first clearance of the game. Bit of a scramble, as we mentioned, bit of rain this morning, so it'll be a slippery ball, you'd think, for most of this first half. Thurlow got a boot off it for Southport, trying to push forward, but students have numbers across half-back. Getting the kick away was Golden to the wing, but the Sharks have numbers. Good mark taken by Sebastian Tape. Played on quickly. Put it out wide to the wing. Good fist from behind came from Hebron. It goes out towards the boundary line on centre wing, and they'll throw it in.
Yeah, boundary throw in is one of the first of many jets zip over Henson Park. It's always a dilemma that commentators have to work with, or sound and film editors. So good sized crowd in here for Henson for this clash. Ball comes back. Tagliabue tried to get it, but Thalo was there with the ball. Young trying to battle the ball. Great work from the 10 in Clayton in coverage for Southport. Ball somehow comes out of the ruck, comes away for Thompson, and Southport put it to ground. So it'll be a ball up just on centre wing. Slow start to this contest so far. Pushed away by Southport, over the top nicely. They come away beautifully through Reeves. Reeves pushes the ball away. And now all Sydney Uni can do is watch the ball come back as Bonnie tries to take possession of it. And there'll be another ball up centre wing.
So our umpires today, it's Matt Bagent with it in hands at the moment, Matt Jester as well, and Sam Ward doing the running around the field. So we've got our free kick, and it's going to go the way of the Students. Big chance to go inside 50. So Damien Boney goes long to half forward. Sharks have numbers behind the play, going back at the flight, good effort. They look to clear from half back and just find a clean possession. Can't get one. Pressure was good from Uni, and it's held to, so it will be thrown up.
Yeah, a little bit of a push and shove there from some of the players from Sydney Uni, but they've sorted it out. Ball up is there, takes place, pushed away nicely. Bartholomew's gives the ball across to Edwards. Now Sydney Uni swing it back down towards the forward 50 position. Couldn't quite take the mark. Goulden came over the top, but couldn't quite get possession. Southport scrummaging quite well here. Comes back in field to Derricks. Umpire steps in and says that it'll be a free kick, and it'll be Fife that kicks across for Southport.
So he goes short and found Manteet. Goes short again up the wing. Could have been a push in the back, and it was. So Students will get another chance to go inside 50. So long kick to the hot spot. Southport with numbers. They need a talk. They didn't. Spoiled each other. Big chance for Uni. Held with it there was Clark. Ball spilled free from him. Around the body. Derricks floats it towards goal and misses to the left. And Uni's on the board through Jake Derricks.
Yeah, they probably panicked there a little bit, Sydney Uni. They had a chance to put some early points on. It wasn't a bad attempt in the end from Jacob Derricks, but it goes wide. So the first goal of the game is a minor score. Comes down towards Ryan Hebron, who tried to get possession. Bit of push and shove. Sam Tagliabue just trying to calm things down. Mitch Thompson seems pretty fired up. Umpire wants none of it. Pushed away. Comes nicely for Southport, but the kick is a high one and it goes out of bounds. So off the side of the boot. So it'll come back for the Students. Go the way of Darcy Barron-Hay. Hay just takes his time, kicks long and strong down towards forward 50. Good opportunity for a mark. The Students battle for possession and the ball goes out of bounds.
So both sides really struggling to get a clean possession so far. About 5 minutes into this first quarter. We have mentioned it's been wet today, so it'll be a greasy footy. And it is, if you've just joined us, Students, Sydney Uni in attack at the moment. Kicking to the left-hand side of the screen. Southport had numbers at the stoppage, but it's turned straight over, and it'll be Mitch Thompson who'll give them another drive inside 50. They're calling it for it long to the hot spot. That's where he goes. Bit of an up and under. Pack forms underneath. Numbers with the Sharks. Ball punched down. Manteet couldn't find it. Students with numbers. Round the body, Crockmore, but the boundary line beat him, and it will be thrown in.
So a real opportunity for Sydney Uni to extend their lead. They lead it by just the one behind at the moment. Good work from Monty Crockmore, but it was clever smother work from the Sharks that prevented any further progression because they had numbers in front of goal. Players milling for positions. Comes back the way. Tagliabue tries to push it away, but it comes back to Southport. Can't quite get it. Dimmery just watched the ball. Comes back the way. Goes down towards Hebron. Pushes away through the Students. Good work over the top through Crockmore. Back through Edwards. And now they fire it over through Goulden. Goulden fires the ball across field, and it's nicely marked over on the far side. So it'll be Sam Fong that has this chance for Sydney Uni. He took the mark just inside the arc.
It's a great mark, wasn't it? Low down. It was a scrambling sort of ball. took it on his chest, got low, and he'll have the wind right behind him when he takes the shot from just outside the 50.
So Fong, you'll remember in Swans colours in round one at the SCG a couple of weeks ago, had a couple of shots from a similar distance at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and of course the wind is a little bit different there than it would be here at Henson, purely because it's a much more open amphitheatre style ground. And Fong has a chance now for first points for the uni. Fires it from just outside 50, goes down towards the goal square, comes back, popped over the top. Players watch it go through, and it goes through for a minor score. So 2 behinds in this game, and Southport now, they will bring it out of their goal square.
Yet to see the Sharks get it inside 50. They've got every player at the moment on the ground is on the students' side of the centre circle. So they'll work it up to the half-forward flank, standing behind. Good mark taken, Fraser Thurlow. Just at the back there, strong hands as you'd expect from the big fella. Not much forward, he wants to go long. Called to play on, low drop punt to centre wing. Underneath it, a couple of students' players nearly collided. Came out of the hands of Richards. Running forward was Dylan Fife. He had nothing forward, so elects to go square, up and under sort of kick. Worked out well. They'll just take their time as players stream forward. Ryan Davis in possession, elected to play on. Inside 50 for the first time this afternoon, the Sharks. Underneath it, Manteet. Fantastic mark. Set himself from a mile back. Goes and marks his spot on the ground where the man on the mark will stand.
Might be a bit of tension between Michael Manteet and the students. It's his first appearance for Southport against his former club. And Manteet, well, he took marks like that very similarly back in 2017 and now has this chance right in front.
So we're just about 8 minutes into this game without a goal. Sydney Uni with all of the play early. The Sharks go forward for the first time. Manteet takes a big mark. Starts his approach to goal. Got close to the man on the mark. Fading left to right. Not far enough right, and it's 1 behind.
So now the students, they will start from the goal square. And Richards will kick long down towards the arc. It was taken there over the top by Bird, but he couldn't quite control it. Comes back the way of Clark for Southport. Pushes it back down towards forward 50. Bounce of the ball is a good one, but it favours the students as they have possession and they will go to ground. And the ball up will take place just on the arc. Jeez, they had a real chance there. It was a good kick back in field to Reece Clark for Southport. Ball up, pushed away. Nicely played back to Reeves. Reeves has possession, comes away for Southport. Punched away nicely by Goulden, which creates some opportunities for Barton. But it's the 3, Brendan Payne, that tries to get the ball away. And the students, they swing it down centre wing. And it's marked. Geez, it was magnificent hands there from the Sharks.
I think he got it on the half volley.
So the umpire has come in, and there'll be a ball up centre wing.
So the Sharks had a bit of possession of late. Can they go back inside 50? Good handball out wide. That was from Manteet as it goes long inside 50. Johnson's underneath it, but he's outmarked by Xavier Richards. Oh, short kick, and that was poor. Robert Clemens takes a mark, goes back, and kicks a goal. Waiting for the all clear after a bit of push and shove. Well, he's going to have to go back and have a shot by the looks of things.
Yeah, it looks as though the umpire's not going to pay that first attempt. And the goal umpire is now just confirming that decision.
So I think he's just given an all clear, and we're going to have 2 shots at goal. So Clements gets 1, and he'll go back from 20 out, and you'd think he would kick his second.
Wow, what a turnaround.
So he's kicked 4 goals for the season coming into today, Robert Clements. This will be number 6, believe it or not. Drop punt on the way, and he's missed.
Oh, jeez. Costly miss for the Sharks there. You'd think he'd be kicking ones like that. Let's hope that doesn't cost the Sharks down towards the back end of the game. So now the students have it from the goal square. And Goulden has a nice kick, but it's marked there beautifully by Manteet, who couldn't quite get it in the end. And now the students swing it down centre wing. Tommy Young tried to take the mark, but it was great work there from Jaden Young. And now the Sharks have possession, and they've got numbers. He'll kick down towards the wing and find Reece Clark. Clark now looking for options downfield, through the midfield, inside forward 50. Nice launching kick down towards centre half forward. Mark was on. Contest was good. Lee Dale tried to take the ball but couldn't quite contain it. Comes back the way of the Students. There's a falcon there off the face of the Students, and it comes to ground.
Oh, it's Baron Hay who copped the footy in the noggin.
Yeah, so he's copped it squarely in the face, and he's just back to his feet now. But the ball up will take place centre half forward.
So tossed up, Sharks in attack, push out in the ruck, and the Students will get one out of jail there. For a push, Jed Turner. So after early momentum, Southport leading this one. Ball goes up the wing for Sydney Uni. A couple of fists fly. No one wanted to take the mark. Ball came out to ground level. Handball flicked out to Charlesworth. Goes backwards to go forwards. Inside out wobbly. Torp goes to half forward. And once again, Sydney Uni with the numbers. And it's Austin Lucy who elects to go across half back.
So the ball goes across there. Nicely taken by Hebron. Over on the far side, the Students swing it down centre wing. Ball is played beautifully. Kick socket along the ground nicely there by Fong. Chance for the Students just outside the arc. Fong again in attack and takes out Reece Clark close to the boundary line.
Fong, he went to take the mark, and I don't think he believed he marked it. He dropped it. Bit of a drop kick forward, and then he had to kick it off the ground again. Bit of drizzle, I think, starting to fall again, Jono.
Yeah, the wind has just dropped off a little bit as the Students try to battle with the ball. They're in good take now. Ball goes towards the goals, but it'll go wide. And it will just go through for...
Out of bounds on the full.
In fact, he's missed everything. So I thought he may have been gone through that near post, but in fact, it's missed everything. So the Sharks will have a chance from the boundary line.
So, a risky bit of a kick. Underneath it was Bird, but the mark has been paid to the Shark defender. Called to play on now, stepped off the mark, high kick to the wing, up and under as the wind flares up again. Chadwick was underneath it. Shark players flew. Good work on hands and knees was Allard as a kick gets to half forward. Weaving and winding was Manteek. Goes inside 50 just. It's Sydney Uni with numbers. Good forward pressure from the Sharks. As the umpire circles looking for a ball up, and that's what will happen.
So the pressure starting to apply. It's the Students by 2, early doors of the first term. Comes back the way of the Sharks. They kick down towards centre half forward. A juggling mark, couldn't quite take it, the Sharks. Ball goes in a loose play. Dimmery, hand pass back was nice. Hebron tried to get the football, and it comes the way of the Sharks, who kick across the face of goal. Miss everything. And it was Tommy Wilkinson that had the chance. And now the ball has gone out of bounds.
So it's the Sharks in attack. They're leading this one by one straight kick. First quarter, round 3. First verse second, thrown in. Underneath it was Thurlow. Ball came out. The Students with numbers. Reece Davis got the handball back for the Sharks. Did well. Found the running player in Ruse. Went backwards. Sharks forward again. Thurlow with it. Couldn't mark it. Chance off the ground. I think it's gone through. No, it's hit the post. And just a minor score for Southport. Half a chance there.
Yeah, Ryan Davis, the player there on the attack. Couldn't quite get the goal. Comes back nicely. And the Students will try and clear it from their defensive line. And Hiscox tried to get the ball, but just ball zipping a bit too quick than him, which is quite rare these days considering the pace of Jack Hiscox. And now the boundary throw in to take place just on the right-hand side of our broadcast position here in the old King George V stand. There's another jet zips over Henson Park. It's pushed away by the Students. Nicely played by Boston, who tried to clear it for the Sharks. Tagliabue trying his best, comes back the way of the Sharks. Nice clearance there. Reeves did particularly well on the loose ball. Magnificent hands there by Dimmery, but he couldn't quite handle it. And it'll go out of bounds right in front of both benches. So it'll be the boundary throw in to take place. And now this battle continues. So 3-2 in favour of the Sharks.
So Tagliabue and Thurlow to do battle. Thurlow came over the top, good fist forward. Ball bouncing hard was Boston, just weaved it forward somehow. Lee Dale picked it up inside 50, another chance for the Sharks. Students with numbers, Mark dropped, good pressure from Hancock. He's on hands and knees, flicks a handball out, got players running through. Worked well by Chadwick, got it out to Johnson. Johnson's tackled, holding the footy. Fantastic pressure there from Nathan Cooper on the last line of defence.
Yeah, it was great hustle from the students. There was a certain goal coming for the Sharks.
Oh.
But now Fong under some pressure. Handball over the top. Tommy Young tried to get it but couldn't quite. And Barron Hay, it just goes to ground, so there'll be a ball up. So what a battle this is between these two top-of-the-table sides. Both undefeated. Both trying to keep that undefeated streak alive to 4-0. Ball goes over on that far side and out of bounds.
Interesting first half. The students had all of the play, all of the possession. Southport looked unsettled, but then flick of a switch about 6 minutes into this quarter, and the Sharks have they've been more organised. They've been able to lock the ball in forward 50, and the students have really battled to get a clear possession out of the scrimmages, as we've seen more pressure here from Southport. Numbers around the stoppage, and inside 50 they go again. Johnson was the target, but a good mark, Xavier Richards, who I'd say has got the chocolates on Johnson early days in this match.
Over on the far side, so the students under some pressure here. They kick into some open real estate. Here come the Sharks in numbers. Ball goes away from one, comes back in field to Fife, who'll kick inside forward 50. But it comes back for the students, and they spread it nicely down the wing through Richards. Onto Tommy Young. Young into some space. Here they go. This is where they're dangerous, the students, through the midfield. Kicking to open real estate. Over the top for Bonnie. Turns around once. Oh, pretty easy from Damien Bonnie. He won't kick a better one or an easier one. And the students, they zip away now. 8 points to 3. The students kicked their first goal of the afternoon. And it all came from just great play through that midfield. So terrific work from the students. Tommy Young, the hand pass through the midfield was nice. It set it up beautifully. It came down and it was just a simple 2-on-1 for the students. Damien Bonnie, safe hands there. Turned around, put on a little step. Calmly, collectively, put it through the big sticks for the first major of the game.
Second major of the game. Of course, we had that Robert Clements double shot earlier on today. It won't be updated on the scoreboard here until quarter time. As the ball's thrown up, the Sharks will go forward again through Fife to half forward. Bouncing ball, who wants it? Mitchell Thompson led in the race. Did well to get the handball back. They had 3 players, but they couldn't work it out. Hiscox went in for the students as the Sharks provide the pressure, and it will be thrown up on the forward flank for Southport.
So terrific work here for both sides as Southport try to battle it away. Ball goes down towards forward 50. Good contest there. Comes back. Students try to battle it. Tommy Young gives the ball back field. Nicely played away there by Lachlan Hayres. And Hayres goes to ground. So the ball up will take place in that left pocket, or the dead pocket as Adam Santarosa referred to it 2 weeks ago when the students last played here. Pushed away nicely by Tagliabue. Over the top for the Sharks. Came away nicely. Comes back to Turner. Away for the Sharks. Good smother there. Ball's just pushed away. And the students now battle it down centre wing.
Good use of the body by Thurlow. Crowd wanted in the back, but umpire didn't agree. So the Sharks, they'll use the handball across half-back and look to switch it through midfield where they've got numbers, but it's turned over. Fong was standing alone. Goes inside 50. Has Bonnie running forward to the goal square. Needs the bounce. Put it on his left boot and kicks his second. The students are in front.
Well, I said he wouldn't kick an easier one, but that one looked even easier than the first one. So Damien Bonnie, right place, right time. And just reading the play beautifully there.
It was well placed by Fong. Always a risky move to transition across half-back by hand, which is what they did early. So it gave Fong a chance to work into that gap, and in this wind, kicking across it, ball fell short.
Yeah, showed great leadership as well when he had the football. Just didn't panic. knew what was in front of him and went with the option as Austin Lucy makes his way to the centre square. And Matt Wilson, I saw in 27, go onto the field, so he goes towards forward 50. Bounce of the ball is just pushed away and they go to ground on it. Tommy Young just watches it along with Dimmery and Fife. So now we will restart. Cold conditions, quite breezy conditions here at Henson. Nice kick away by Thurlow. And it's over the top. Goulden tried his best to get possession. Comes away nicely. And it's pushed away from Clements and down towards the students. They battle under some pressure. Good work there in coverage. Nice hand pass over the top, and here the students are. They swing it down the boundary line. Comes towards Seb Tate, and he takes a solid mark. Good hand pass infield. They go long through Dale. Nicely marked. Geez, it was really well read there by Southport. And now it is Brenton Payne that has this chance.
Real smart from Boston there. He lowered his eyes, could have blazed away. Saw Payne all alone in that pocket. He'll be lining up for his first.
So Brenton Payne needs to swing it left to right with this breeze. Moves in with the right foot and does it. Wow, no, he couldn't quite get it. Thought for a moment that he'd kicked it, but it's gone wide. Geez, from our angle, it certainly looked like it went just in, but it's gone wide. So another minor for the Sharks.
So it's a 4-point lead at the moment to the students as the ball came to half forward for them. They had players at the stoppage. Running through this time was Reynard. Stuck with it was Hiscox. Umpire called play on. Sharks chance to rebound. Working the handball beautifully was Davis inside 50. Students with numbers. They spoil each other there somewhat shockingly. Payne picked it up. Dished the handball out wide. Snap around the body by Hancock to the top of the square. And the students with numbers once again on the last line of defence. And taking the mark was Barron Hay.
So Barron Hay moves it from the goal square. Strong possession down towards Derricks. Couldn't quite take it. Great hustle there over the top from Dimmery. Pushed away, and now it's Thurlow. Pushes it infield. Great work there from Chadwick. Goes down to ground, and Payne is the man that is put to ground. So it'll be a free kick to Payne. Kicked one behind moments ago. This time kicks down towards forward 50. Won't have the legs, but will be taken high there nicely. Away goes Barton. Kicks down towards Derricks. Derricks takes a solid mark. She's Peter Sharon slapping on the skin. And now he takes his options. Oh, good smother there from the Sharks, picked up by Payne. Goes back the way of Boston, who kicks down towards forward 50. Awkward bounce, but the students do particularly well to get it clear. Now they just try and get it back. Down towards centre wing. Bonnie's the man, the target. Couldn't quite get it. Comes down towards the students. Back Wilson, great hustle. Sharks push it back towards the middle. Great mark there taken nicely by the 3 and Bird. Bird will kick it over the far side. Goulden has some space out wide. Picked up nicely by Richards. Richards on the fly. Through the midfield he goes. Kicks down towards forward 50. Cleverly marked. Jack Hiscox, the man on the ball. Geez, he read that superbly.
And poor checking from the Sharks. They had two defenders just kind of standing, not getting a bit of the touch to work out where their man was. And Hiscox was just standing between the two players and took the simplest of marks.
So now Jack Hiscox. Geez, I'd love to get the champion data stats on how many goals this kid's kicked at this park.
He's kicked 5 this season.
Wow.
Not just here, but for the year in his 3 games.
So I think he picked up the 1 2 weeks ago. As he moves in from about 40. Looks pretty good. The roar on the crowd tells you the story of that goal. Jack Hiscox, he kicks his first of the afternoon. And the students, they go further in front.
So it's 3-2-20, 1-4-10 on the scoreboard. Managed to find a way forward in this latter half of this half. Jono just got numbers forward and they've worked it really well transitioning from half back through to the forward line.
I think it might be something to do with Southport's communication inside forward 50 that's maybe leading to some of their errors and just that change of possession. But Sydney Uni, they seem to, when they get the ball from centre wing and clear it up park, They seem to have so much real estate inside forward 50.
So Thurlow won that one down. Bird got the clearance though for the students. They'll go inside 50 again through Boney. Out the back, easy as you like. Goal. Simple stuff there from Tommy Young. An experienced player like him takes the mark, played on quickly. And they've got 2 in a minute, the students.
Yeah, real clever stuff there. Tommy Young could have probably waited, but caught the Southport Sharks napping, and nice little bend back kick. He comes off the field for a spell. Geez, he played a superb game 2 weeks ago at this same venue. That was their win over the Redland Bombers. 36 points the margin on that occasion, and now they're leading comfortably against the Sharks. And we've got to be close to quarter time here at Henson. Pushed away nicely. Goes down towards Tagliabue. He kicks it over the top. And it comes back the way of the students that find themselves over near the arc, and a ball up will take place.
They'll be looking not to concede a goal here, Southport. They've thrown plenty of numbers behind the ball, deep in defence. They'll get the clearance from the stoppage, move it to the wing, but it's a 3-on-1 situation. Ball punched down. Hebron was waiting for it. Worked a bit of a 1-2 there as they work it to half forward. It's Bartholomew's with it, inside 50. Underneath it was Fong, couldn't mark, and the Sharks will clear again to the wing. But they've got players behind the ball again, and Hebron will go back and pick it up.
Kicks across centre wing, down towards the boundary line. Marked over on the far side there. So now the students have a chance. Bird kicks it back downfield. And now they go back as a defensive role. Good towering kick towards centre wing. Nice clever work there by Goulden. Smart little kick over the top. Couldn't be marked. Comes away now. Hayres kicks inside forward 50. Superbly marked.
Push in the back. So free kick to the Sharks. Bit of a push in the contest, unfortunately, for the students. As the Sharks look to clear. Oh, underneath this one. Bonnie was waiting, couldn't mark. He just went in second, third, fourth effort. Now on hands and knees, drags it in. How the umpire call this one? Let's say give it to me, boys. Let's throw it up. So real interesting last couple of moments of this first quarter. The Southport looked like they were getting on the top. A couple of quick goals to the students, and suddenly they're looking like building a really handy quarter-time lead. Players wrestle for it. Getting a kick out of there was Tagelbaum, but it came off his knee and goes out of play, and it will be tossed in.
So real great battle here. Every time that ball gets thrown in, there's a high number of boundary throw-ins in this opening term. Every time the ball comes in, it's always a great battle to watch. This one no different. Pushed away nicely by Dale. Dale tried to get the footy away. Tagliabue in great coverage there. Barton just watches, so too Dimmery and Bird for the students. And now the ball up will take place. So the students have a chance to build on their lead. Nice little tap over from Tagliabue. Kicks down towards the centre half forward. Nice possession for the Southport Sharks, and a terrific smother. And that was brilliant work, I think, from Ryan Hebron. It was Hebron. And the ball goes out of bounds.
It looks like they could have been away there, the Sharks, but as you mentioned, Hebron was just waiting. Just the pressure was good. It's very close proximity this ground to the Sydney Airport as another jet scoots over the top. Thurlow, big torp to half forward. Who wants it most? The Sharks with numbers. Good defensive work from Barkley. Streaming through hard was Allard. Couldn't quite get a clean kick forward. Students block it up, but it came out to Dale. Dale got a kick up and under the centre half forward. Won't travel the required distance. Came out. Edwards was waiting for it. Siren sounds. And an entertaining first quarter sees Sydney Uni leading at the Southport Sharks 4-2-26 to 1 goal 4-10. Top of the table clash here on NEFL TV. Hope you're enjoying it. Back with the second quarter shortly.
Well, welcome back to Henson Park for the start of this second quarter. It's been a thrilling first term between the Students and the Sharks. Sydney Uni, they lead at 4-2-26 to Southport 1-4-10. John O'Farr and Eddie Summerfield in commentary. Ed, what did you make of the first 30-something minutes?
It was played in thirds, wasn't it? The Students the first 10 minutes, the Sharks the next 15 really, and then the Students banged on a couple through Bonnie. He's our leading goal kicker on the ground at the moment with 2. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. About a 4-goal breeze judging by that first quarter. Sharks have it this quarter, but the Students get it out of the centre square very quickly, and a good strong pack mark taken out the back. And they'll go back and extend this 16-point quarter time lead. Jake Derrick's there. Strong hands, wasn't it?
Yeah, he really read it well, read the pack well, and just somehow cleared a space for him. Great chance here now for Jacob.
Kicked it behind in that first quarter. He's got 5 goals for the season coming into today. Comes in, drop punt on the way, left to right. Goal umpire says he misses to the left, and he's got a second behind for the day.
Yeah, so the wind has just calmed down a little bit here at Henson. It's a bit breezy up in the grandstands, but when you get down on playing field, it sort of calms down a little bit. Would have been interesting to hear what was said at quarter time. We might bring you some of that a little bit later in the game as Boston clears it for the Sharks. It's a nice kick down towards centre half wing. Nice possession of play. Good work through the middle, and it's taken beautifully by Murdoch. Murdoch will kick an open pasture. Picked beautifully off the deck. Hand pass over the top was a good one. Nicely worked from Brenton Payne towards goal. And he's kicked it wide.
Real smart crumbing from Payne. He called for the ball when it was coming forward. He's ignored, went and stood at the front of the pack, got the handball, and he just lost his footing on what looks like it would be the try line when the Newtown Jets are playing here every other week. So perhaps them to blame for that misfooting. So the Sharks have the wind this quarter. Big long kick in, came grandstand side. Students with numbers underneath it. Derricks couldn't mark, and taken over the boundary line was Sam Fong, who very good in that first quarter. He's been involved in the most scoring involvements this season alongside Sean Edwards for the Students, and that was very evident in that first quarter. So Sharks are just in attack. Ruckman Lockhorns went out the back, trying to run through was Manteet, couldn't find it. It came out to Lucy, and he's pushed over the boundary line with the footy, and it'll be thrown in.
He's almost Spider-Man-like reflexes there off the perspex. So it'll take place right in front of the main race. Beautiful sunshine here at Henson. It's a bit overcast in the clouds, but plenty of sun on the ground. Tommy Young tried to get it away, but it's nicely cleared by the Sharks. Taken over by Reeves. Good hand pass over the top. Cleverly worked away by the 7 in Davis. He kicks it down towards forward 50, and it's good scrummaging there for the Students, who just watch it go out of bounds. It's clever work there by Sean Edwards, who watched the ball go out of bounds, and boundary throw-in will take place inside that left pocket. Tommy Young just sort of loitering around. Dimmery and Manteet were having a nice little push and shove earlier, and they're battling again for the ball. Pushed away nicely, taken there over the top by beautiful. Clayton. Clayton kicks away, and it's marked there by the Sharks. About 30 out from goal, and now that man, Brenton Payne, has another opportunity at goal.
He's going to have to kick this probably at the right goalpost and let the wind just bring it back. 45-degree angle.
So let's see if Eddie Summerfield is right in his coaching analysis. Brenton Payne seems to be listening to that advice, moving towards the right. Swings it back, goes down towards the goal square, but he's pushed through and touched on the line, so it goes through for a behind. So they kick their 6th behind of the game. And now the Students will clear it through Dimmery.
There's a real problem last week for them, the Sharks. They went through a period where they kicked 10 behinds on the trot against Apsley, so goal kicking haven't quite got on top of it. And lining up this time will be Michael Manteet. You think he'll know the conditions here okay, though, Jono, as he's one of the offenders today. He's kicked 1 behind.
Yeah, he's going to have a crack at this. Let's see how it goes.
Starts his approach. He's got 3 for the season. Puts it on the right boot, sets it to the top of the square. Have a listen to the crowd, get stuck into him. Out the back, the Sharks a chance. Crumbing it was Hancock, couldn't quite get it cleanly. Handball came out wide to Reeves. He couldn't get it away through the middle, misses to the left.
Yeah, just really rushed the possession there, the Sharks. They had numbers. Probably a nice little hand pass over the top towards goal square. I know it's easy in hindsight, but that probably would have been the better play in that set shot. But anyway, we move on. There's another jet, zips over Henson Park. Pushed away nicely, and it'll be Wilson that sees the ball go out of bounds.
Just on that point I was making earlier, they 10 behinds in a row from the first to the second quarter last week, Southport. They kicked 6 behinds on the trot here today after kicking their first goal early in that second quarter.
So boundary throw in just of the left of the broadcast box, and it's come to ground.
We'll throw it in again. The wind, just a bit of a battle there for the boundary umpire. I think it'd be tough in that pocket, blowing right into his back.
Yeah, straight into that big grass hill, the old velodrome track. Comes away. Demery tried to get the possession of the ball. It comes away to Tagliabue, did particularly well to clear it. Tommy Young gets it nicely, and the students swing it down beautifully. Push it over the top, picked up by Derricks. His hands were magnificent on that occasion. And it's a good tackle over the top. And Reece Clark, the man that stops progression any further. So ball up to take place just in front of us.
So centre wing, can the Sharks get it forward again? They're trailing this one. Went down the throat of Lee Dale. He couldn't get a handball out of that. Sun breaking through here. If you've just joined us, there's a bit of rain in Sydney this morning, but it looks like it's drying up. Students leading this ball game. It's the Sharks, they go forward. They're kicking with the wind. Getting it was Mantine. Inside 50. Students stream back. They collide together. Spilled out to Clement. Snaps around the body. He's got his second. So much needed goal for the Sharks. Clement snapping. Big, heavy collision from a couple of Sydney Uni players, but they get to their feet. And it's back to an 8-point ball game here at Henson Reserve.
So Sam Barkley just copping a pretty bad knock there. He's just come off now, but he seems okay. And Xavier Richards goes on. So, see, some strength comes off for Sydney Uni and it goes back on. So, some great depth that Eddie Summerfield mentioned earlier in the broadcast. And now the Sharks starting to show a little bit of life as we enter the 7th minute of the second term. Ball up, pushed away. Students have some space, plenty of real estate for them. Great opportunity comes away for the Sharks. Now they're playing with a little bit more punch. Goes over the top to Hayres. Comes back down towards the 10 in Thompson. He'll kick it across field. And the Sharks now battle for the ball. Great work there from Clark. He'll kick it downfield, and Ruse will kick it over on the far side down through centre wing. Nicely marked over the top there by Clements.
So he goes short. Got a player on the lead. Beautiful kick up. And the mark is taken on the chest by Wade Hancock, who be kicking from about 53 or 4 metres out. He'll have the wind in his back. So we saw prior to the game players having a shot from this kind of distance at this end, and they're kicking it with ease. So it'll be interesting to see how Hancock goes here. He's got 5 for the season in his 2 games for the Sharks. Yet to trouble the scorers this afternoon. Begins his approach. Right boot, got close to the man on the mark. It will fail to make the distance. No, it will fail to make the accuracy. Misses to the right-hand side.
Yeah, probably should have kicked maybe laterally down towards forward 50 there. Had a couple of players, had about 3 or 4 options. Wilkinson was one of them. Comes back nicely, and Cooper will have the ball for the students. So the margin 7 points now in favour of Sydney Uni. Good kick from Cooper down towards centre wing. Derricks tried to go high for it. Pushed away. Clever work over the top. Bird has the football. He's tossed to the ground. Picked up nicely by the Sharks. They try to battle the football. Dale tried to sneakily just clear it. And it comes back to Wilkinson that'll have the free. Tommy Wilkinson from midfield kicks down towards forward 50. Over the top, marked by the Sharks. Comes away to Chadwick. Steps around one. Comes ball back inside. Played back beautifully. Goes away now. Infield there to the 37 in Charlesworth. Over the top. Cleverly work there by Dale. tried to get the ball off Chadwick, but the ball will go to ground. And umpire comes in and says, lads, let's have a ball up, left pocket.
Plenty of pressure on the Southport forwards. It's a bit of push and shove happens around this stoppage. They trail it by 7 points. Students in control of this game much of that first quarter. Austin Lucy again around this one. He couldn't get a clean possession. Southport can go backwards to go forwards. They do so now. Ruse was waiting. Kick inside 50. Turned over. Students, wobbly. Torp out to the wing. How will it bounce? Murdoch was underneath it. Couldn't pick it up. Derrick's booted it off the ground. Couldn't get as much distance as would have liked. Young went back for the Sharks. And he'll work it across half-back through Charlesworth. Don't know what he did there. Bit of a chip kick. Put his mate under a bit of pressure. Have to weave around defenders. Bit of a smother, wobbly kick off the side of the boot. Under immense pressure at the moment. The Sharks, Students underneath it. Fong could have got one in the back. Umpire let it play. Ball came out. Goes inside 50. Derrick's laying the tackle. And let's throw it up and we'll restart that play.
Geez, a couple of wobbly old boots there for Southport, just off the side of the boot. They were lucky to get away with it, but what can the Students do here? Builds away nicely. Good kick over the top from Lucy. Pushed away from the Sharks. Great battle for the ball again with Lucy. Comes away the ground. Wilkinson tries to pick up the scraps. Nicely cleared away by the Sharks. Good tackle over the top from the Students. And the ball goes out of bounds eventually, and it's holding the footy, the call. So, wow, some tension and drama here at Henson Park for this clash. Top of the table, one of these sides will lose their undefeated streak. Nice kick from Austin Lucy, clever as you like, and Craig Bird will have the footy in his hands and now has a chance to put the Sherrin through the big sticks for the Students. They lead it by 7.
First game of the season for Craig Bird today for the Students, coming back from injury.
Trying to get the lead to 13. Bird from about 48 swings it back, but not enough. It'll stay left. Just get in that behind post, and the minor score is there. So the margin goes back to, in fact, the margin goes to 8 points now, and it is cleared over the top. Taken nicely by Southport, cleared away by the Students over the top. Students try to battle the football. Bird gets the ball back, cleverly taken on the boundary line. Great work there from the Students, hustling on the line, and will go out of bounds in front of their Perspex bench.
Raft of changes happens. Players just taking advantage of the play being this side of the ground. Halfway through this second term, ball's tossed in centre wing. Who wants it? Thurlow got the tap down, but the Students again, they're just pushing, urging the footy forward. Lucy couldn't find the handle on it. Davis did. Shrugged off a tackle, put it inside 50. One-on-one chance here. Ball bouncing towards the boundary line. Richards will see it over for the Students. And Southport will have another chance to just put a bit more pressure on the Students and bring this game back to a 2-point ball game. Thrown in this pocket. Seen plenty of the play this afternoon. Tap was good by Thurlow. Couldn't find a player though. Underneath it was Reeves. He couldn't quite find it either. Pressure as you'd expect Lucy. Neither could find it. Murdoch picked it up. Snap around the body. Ball swinging back. I think it's a goal. Wowee! From the pocket, something from nothing. And I'll go with Brodie Murdoch. That's who I thought kicked it, and it was. He's got his first of the afternoon. Goal of the day contender indeed, and it's back to a 2-point ball game.
Oh, thrilling stuff from the Sharks. Well, you said it was something from nothing. Well, they've given the fans everything. That was terrific. Brilliant scrapping work there from Murdoch. And, yeah, as soon as it left the boot, it just curved a little bit, but was staying straight for probably 90% of its flight. And a great goal that's really brought the Sharks back into this contest. Pushed away from centre bounce. Comes away for Dale, who kicks it down towards forward 50. But the Students mark it there nicely. And it'll be the 16 in Hebron that kicks it over the top. As Thompson has possession of the ball now for the Students. Looks for some options. Kicks down towards centre wing. Might run out of real estate here. Kicks it to Fat, and the ball goes out of bounds on the full. So good opportunity here for the Sharks on centre wing.
So it'll be the goal kicker, Murdoch. Didn't he love it when it went through the middle? Getting the free kick here.
Didn't you love it when he kicked it?
He worked the handball, but it won't work. It was well touched. There as the Students go forward to half forward at 2-on-1. Well worked out by Boney. Had nothing to go to. Waited for the running player. It eventually came in Reinhardt. He flicked it back to Hiscock. Bouncing footy. Wrong on at the end, and it goes through for a behind.
Geez, wasn't he confident when he kicked it? Would have been a great goal for Hiscock as Southport swing it down the boundary line. Over on the far side at Henson. And now they kick it down through Chadwick. Over the top nicely there by the 21 in Hancock. Hancock just reassesses the situation. Good looking kick. Hugs the boundary line over the top of Hebron. And the umpire says it'll go the way of Southport. So Payne now has possession of the footy. Good kick down towards forward 50. Tried to find his man, but Cooper will get the ball for Sydney Uni. Picked up off the deck.
Holding the ball call. You had the mark, so that's your prior opportunity. Played on, tackled, ball spilled out. There'll be a shot at goal here for the Sharks, and it will come through Manteet.
So Manteet will have the shot just on the far side at Henson in that right pocket. Geez, it'll be a thrilling goal if he kicks this.
Chance to put them back in front as well, Jono.
So now he moves in from the arc. Good looking kick across the face of goal. But it will just go to the left-hand side of the posts and go through for a behind. So now the margin goes back to 2 points. And we are 16 and a bit played in this second term.
The Students will again come to the grandstand side. Big pack of players flying. Barton couldn't find it. Murdoch couldn't either, and it spilled out to Wilson. Just ducked the shoulders, then got a kick inboard. They've got numbers here. Uni, handball over the top to Taglabam. Came to Hiscox, runs inside 50, put it on the left boot, misses to the right. Misses long way to the right. Just kept going.
Yeah, I reckon Hiscox should have bounced it a couple of times, just straightened up, and then belted it into the next suburb. But anyway, an opportunity missed there. So the margin goes to 3 as Tagliabue looked for possession, but it's Derricks that pushes it clearly. Nicely over there from the 10 in Thompson. And it's marked just inside forward 50 by Hebron. Hebron will try and kick long and strong down towards the goal square. They fly high. Tommy Young tried to pick it up off the carpet. Cleverly worked there by the Students. Ball comes loose. Sharks going for it. Edwards going for it. Comes back through for the Sharks, and Clayton will see it go through for just a behind.
Experienced player there, Tom Young. He waited at the back of the pack for the Students, knew the ball probably wasn't going to be marked, and just couldn't quite get enough time to have a shot as the mark's paid. No, it's not. The umpire said, sorry, I blew the whistle a bit early there, so let's throw it in. Yeah, Jaden Young just juggling it.
Yeah, I think he's blown the whistle as soon as it touched his left hand.
Could have blame it on the wind for players today. It went through and took the pee around the whistle. So it'll be a throw-in. Students a chance to add to their 3-point lead they've got as we just approach the time-on period in this second quarter. Hope you're enjoying this game on NEFL TV. The Sharks get the kick out. They'll want the deliberate, but the umpire says, no, we're not going to pay that. Let's throw it in on centre wing.
Geez, the boundary throw-ins today has been all-time high. We're only 1 and a bit quarters deep into this game. So now a chance for the Students to build on their lead, but the Southport Sharks, they're coming. Great work from Tagliabue off the carpet.
Holding the footy, grabs it out of the ruck. Second you tackled, if you grab it out of the ruck, it's holding the ball.
So Fife now has possession for Southport. From the midfield, he'll kick down towards centre half forward. Players fly high for the ball. Cleverly marked over the top. Tommy Young now with some space. Always dangerous. Now into some clearing paths. Goes down towards the Students, but it's a solid battle there. Kicked up off the carpet. Fong had it. Clever work through some busy traffic. Kicks it into some open pasture. Picked up beautifully by Tape. Tape gives the ball across field. And now Young will have possession for the Sharks. He'll kick down towards centre wing. Good battle for the ball, and it's a terrific mark there for Sydney Uni and Mitch Thompson. So Thompson now. He looks for some options. He's got a few in midfield. Play on is the call from the umpire. Kicks long down towards centre half forward. Battling for the ball. Great mark over the top from Derricks. Derricks will have possession. Gives the ball away loosely. Picked up off the carpet by the students. Lucy tried his best. Comes away now for Southport. Nice hand pass back to Derricks. Derricks floating ball back. Across it goes for the Sharks. Good clearing kick, but the umpire comes in.
Holding the ball.
Another holding the ball call. And this time it'll be a free kick to Southport.
So the time it took to get back there, the students had a chance to zone off. But the short kick was good. It found Charlesworth. At half back, ticks on to time on in this second quarter. Thrilling game. Ball got the extra legs with the wind. Tapped over the top to the running player, Murdoch. He was taken to ground. Hancock was waiting for it. Dished it forward. He's got Lee Dale there. He'll run inside 50. He can take a bounce. He can have a shot. Does the ladder to the top of the square and misses to the right. Good transition there from the Sharks. Half back through to half forward. Dale just, the wind wasn't there for him as the students bring it back in.
Thompson, good clearing kick over on that far side at Henson. It's marked nicely by Hiscox. Hiscox swings it around, but the ball is smothered by the Sharks. Chance here for them. They've got numbers, but Hiscox cleans it up beautifully. Kicks it along the boundary line, just over the top of Boston. Boston did particularly well to get it back to Thurlow. And Fraser Thurlow using his height well there. Had some space, and geez, isn't he dangerous when he's got some space, Fraser Thurlow. So boundary throw in to take place, far side of Henson, just on centre wing.
So we've got a 2-point ball game at the moment. Thurlow, as you mentioned there, good double fister, just into space. Bird will run onto it for the students. He'll dish the handball backwards where Barton was waiting. Stops, props, gets tackled, lost the ball. Bird had to come and find him. He couldn't get it either. Great pressure from Southport. They want deliberate. Not going to get it. So goal kicking again, the story of the first half for Southport. 3 goals, 10. Trying conditions today with the wind. They're in attack at the moment.
Yeah, better record for the students, 4-6. So they come back from the boundary throw in. Ball is picked up by the Sharks. And Fong wanted to dart off with it. But the umpire says, hang on a minute, let's just bring it back here. And now the Sharks have good possession as they kick it down towards forward 50. Plenty of numbers, but it's taken beautifully by Hebron. He was firing back there. And now has this clearing kick to try and get the students out of some trouble. Has Barron Hay in front of him, but he'll kick to the right over towards Bird. Bird takes the mark. Now the students, they just need to go long here. Get themselves right out of trouble because the Sharks are swarming. Ball over the top, nicely marked over on that far side. Kicked it back inside to Thompson. Thompson just holds up the ball, slowing down the clock a little bit here. Hand pass over the top nicely. Good kick along the boundary line for the students. Oh, wow, beautiful taken there by Thurlow. Fraser Thurlow will kick it back for the Sharks, looking for some open real estate. Clever work there through the midfield. Great work up the middle nicely from Clayton. Clayton kicks down towards centre half forward. Good mark from Barkley, who tries to stop possession. And now the students will swing it down centre wing towards Bonnie.
Geez, look out, Bonnie took the mark. Could have been 50 from his opposite number in tape. Umpire said, no, get up, take your kick. As the Sharks get players behind the ball. Kicks to a contest. Bit of a floater. And Charlesworth takes it on the chest. And he'll look to reload for the Sharks. The shadows of halftime. Goes long and high up the wing. Ball came out the back. Barclay was there for the students. As the handball came out the back to Golden. He went to half forward. Sharks with numbers, but streaming through was Boney. Crashed the pack. Couldn't quite go with the footy. They go back to half forward Southport. And the students will have another chance to go forward.
So, geez, what a battle this is. We spoke about pre-game, Ed, that this is really going to be wire to wire, right down to the line. And these two sides certainly putting on a game that was worthy of all the hype leading into it. Top of the table, undefeated sides. Kick for the students, but Sharks will take the ball and Thurlow will have the footy. Used his height and size well there. Good pounding kick down towards midfield. Plenty of numbers. The Sharks through Dale. Kick it over the top nicely. Picked up beautifully off the ball. Now it goes back through the 21 to Hancock, but it comes back the way of the Students, and they try to battle the ball. And the Sharks don't like that call, but umpire says that's the way it is, and there'll be a ball up to take place just inside the left pocket.
Just had Mitchell Johnson then streaming and wanting it forward for the Sharks, but didn't go there. Bird on hands and knees did well. Lucy will be pushed and tackled and shoved over the boundary line. So the Sharks, they haven't led this ball game since about the 10th minute mark of the first quarter. They've dominated this second term as it's tossed in again. They're in attack, came out, that was good stuff from Boston, just tried to get it boot to ball, couldn't quite, spilled out. Great defensive work from the Students, players in the right places at the right time, and we're going to do what we've done about 3 times in the past 30 seconds. It'll be John O'Farr to take you through it though, because I'm not getting anywhere.
Oh, there you go. So the hospital pass from Ed to Jono, fantastic. Boundary throw in, takes place, pushed away, nicely over the top. Students battling for the ball, so too the Sharks. It was clever work from Fong earlier in the piece that tried to get the ball, but they really seem to be struggling to get the ball out of that fullback line. And
have a look at Mitch Johnson. He hasn't kicked a goal. He's got 10 for the season, just lurking behind this ball up.
Pushed away nicely by the Sharks. Chance here for the Students, but they need to clear it. Comes towards Hebron. Back towards the Sharks. Clever work. Oh, jeez. It was kicked nicely, but the hook was too sharp. And it goes through for a behind. Reeves the man with the footy. And now the margin just goes back to that 1 point.
Top of the table, 2 undefeated teams. Probably wouldn't expect anything less. Students again out of defence. Long clearing kick underneath it. Derrick's waited for it, but the Sharks with numbers again. They'll reload through Charlesworth. High and long. Coming from behind. Johnson flew. Couldn't find it. And the Students will look to clear, but underneath it's Clark. Johnson calls for it at the top of the goal square. He's all alone. Wants it high and long as Clark takes his time. Sydney Uni get numbers back. Goes that way now. Players fire, but fantastic mark out the back taken by Barton. He's been great across the defensive lines today as the Students look to get a bit inventive through Thompson. He's called to play. We'll have to work the 1-2. Did so now, and the Students clear defence, but Charlesworth will take a mark on the wing.
So the Sharks now through midfield. They keep coming here, Southport. Nice kick down towards forward 50. Players going high for the ball. Hebron tried to get cleverly there. Tagliabue used his height well to come in for the contest. And it'll be a ball up right in front of goal, about 30 out. So the margin just 1 point. The Students in favour of that lead. And we're almost at that half-time break. Comes back towards the Students. Young, clever hands. Good kick down towards centre wing. Ball and pushed away beautifully. But it was Payne that had the football for the Sharks that tries to get the ball going the other way. Derrick's good hustle. And the Students on the bench are certainly letting know the other players what they think of that call. And the umpire, as the Qantas jet lands at Mascot, just goes out of bounds now. So it'll be another boundary throw in, just the left-hand side of our broadcast position.
1 point ball game, half-time not too far away. So Students leading this one. They haven't managed a goal in this second term though. They're kicking into the wind. The Sharks have 2. Tossed in, crumbing it well was Clayton, but he's taken to ground when his feet hit the deck. And it'll be throwing up, bit of push and shove. Plenty of tensions in this game.
Geez, Tommy Young and Dylan Pfeiffer having a go at it.
Umpire gets the play going, just get the players back to it. Running through was Demery. The Sharks, they should be able to get it inside 50 here again. Clayton went to pick it up, lost it. Coming through was Hebron. He couldn't get a clean possession either. Going back to pick it up, Bartholomew's got it backwards, worked well. Running through was Golden to half forward. They've got numbers here, got players loose as well. So stop and prop it into the hot spot. 2-on-1 situation. Could have been a hold to Derrick's. Umpire let it go. As the handball came back to Young. Young a chance to set it up. The just turns it over, and Ryan Davis was there waiting.
Kicks over the far side, marked nicely there by the Sharks. Clever work from them. Good work from the Students. They'll try and get the footy back. But the ball has gone the way of the Students. And it'll be Jake Bartholomew's that has this chance to build on their lead.
Haven't kicked a goal this quarter. This will hurt their Sharks.
So a real opportunity here for Bartholomew's to kick his first of the game and, as Ed said, put a real stamp on this one. The margin is 1 point. We're in the shadows of half-time. As I say that, the siren goes. So Bartholomew's has this last shot of the half. Moves in, kicks towards goal. Just tapped through, so it'll be a behind. So the margin will be 2 points at half-time, but we have got a thrilling clash. The score currently 4-7-31 to Southport 3-11-29. It's the Students by 2. We have got a thrilling 2 quarters to come. Stay with us here on NEFL TV, all thanks to Bar TV, our wonderful providers of vision in season 2018. And the NEFL season continues in 2018, all thanks to Elastoplast. So we've got 2 quarters still to come, but right now at halftime, it's the Students by 2. We'll take a break and be back with 2 exciting quarters. We'll be here. You make sure you are too. Well, haven't we got a barn burner of a footy game here at Henson? It's a fantastic clash between the two sides on the top of the NEFL ladder in 2018, the Sydney University students and the Southport Sharks. It is Sydney Uni by 2 points. Can you believe it, at half-time? Two thrilling quarters still to come. John O'Farr and Eddie Summerfield in commentary this afternoon. Eddie, welcome back to the coverage after half-time. Take us through the stats of the first two quarters.
Run through the goal kickers pretty simply. Damien Bonney's kicked 2 for the students, Hiscock 1 and Tom Young 1. Interestingly enough, they didn't kick a goal in that second quarter. Across at Southport, Robert Clements, he's got 1 in each quarter, and Brodie Murdoch kicked an absolute hurler from the pocket in that second term. Goal kicking again, the story from the first half for Southport. 3 goals, 11. A lot of the talk around the ground at half-time, Jono. They should be up by more.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's plenty of noise in the crowd for Michael Manteet, the man that has switched sides. Of course, he now plays for the Sharks, but last year played for the students. His first clash against his old side as we get underway in this second half or third quarter, whichever you prefer. And the umpire will get us back underway after the ball up just going awry. Fraser Thurlow battling high for the ball. Dylan Fife did particularly well through the midfield, but it's good hustle from Tommy Young over the top. And now the Sharks, they'll clear it from midfield.
So Fife copped 1 around the neck then. He'll have to get the kick quickly, as he does to half forward. Packer players underneath. Numbers again with the students, and the mark out the back taken by Tim Barton. So he's been good across the back line today. A couple of big pack marks. Sun shining here at Henson Park. Mark not paid there to Murdoch as the students have numbers through Fong. He'll go to half forward, high drop punt, 2-on-1 situation. Sharks with numbers, but students will rebound at ground level. Tom Young got the footy short. They got players lining up for goal. Reinhard waiting in the goal square. He'll go back and kick his first. So the students have got the first of this second half, and they're bounced out of the blocks to an 8-point lead.
Yeah, magnificent work there from Damien Bonney as well. Just magnificent hands. Just picking the ball up on the half volley, giving it across to Ned Reinhardt, and him kicking the first goal as Ed called, and probably a very easy goal for his tally in 2018. So now the margin goes back to 8 points for the students. Real back and forth contest. Some work to do for Southport, but it's 8 points the margin. But geez, I tell you, these sides, they're really playing as though the margin's all locked up.
Thrown up in the middle. Students will get the clearance again. Ducking and weaving through was Young. Eventually put it long and high inside 50. Cox waited underneath it, but the Sharks again, they've been good all day. Clearing kick this time came from Davis. Goes to the bench. Oh, and it's out of bounds on the full, as Baron Hay will take the kick on centre wing and reload for Sydney Uni.
So he kicks down towards centre half forward. Good opportunity for Baron Hay, but Fraser Thurlow goes high and takes an uncontested mark. Nice kick across the field, and now it's Reeves that has the footy. Ethan Reeves will get himself settled. He's been good at the back for Southport. Over the top, taken nicely there by the 34 in Tyler Roos, son of the great Paul Roos, who coached the Swans to their, I suppose, first premiership, I guess, as the Sydney Swans in 2005.
The drought breaker.
Leo Barry U-Star was the big call at the time on the Channel 10 call as the ball goes away for the students. So there's been some talk that the great Roosie is here watching his young bloke run around at Henson. So it's a great family atmosphere here at Henson Park. You see dogs and great families sitting on the hill watching a terrific contest between these two top-of-the-table sides in the NEFL competition. Pushed away over the top by the Sharks. Clever work there from just outside the arc. They'll kick inside forward 50. Terrific work there from the 21 in Hancock, who couldn't quite get the ball. And it'll come back the way of the students to clear it off their goal line.
So, short kick was good. It came to Bartholomew's at half-back. He's had a bit of it today. He'll work it short to Crockmull. Crockmull looks to go. Does quickly now. Students working it methodically up the ground, but just couldn't quite get the clearing kick. And they do now, looking to work it quickly. Edwards was lurking, as was Bird. Could have copped one in the back. Going in hard was Edwards, got the handball out, ducking, weaving. Came out to Bartholomew's, who kept on running, held without it, and he'll get a free kick. And a chance to send Sydney Uni back into attack. They want to go quickly. Got players in midfield. Elects to go to the hotspot. 2-on-1 situation. Young will fly from behind. Couldn't quite get there in time. Went in, found it. Southport with numbers. And it'll be a throw up. About 30 out from the Students' goal.
So a real chance for the ball here. Pushes away nicely, picked up beautifully by Dimmery. Little chip over the top, cleverly marked in front of goal. And Jacob Derricks will turn and burn.
Oh, has he got it?
I reckon he might have got it. He has. And if he has, it is only just snuck in. So Derricks gets the goal for the Students. And now the margin's starting to get to 14 points. But geez, I reckon that might have been a coat of paint, Eddie Summerfield.
Would like to have seen AFL size goalpost there, another couple of metres. Could have been interesting. Smart play though, because he's going to be put around right on the goalpost. Played on, got to do it in that situation.
Yeah, clever work. He just sort of caught Southport napping a little bit, and yeah, as you said, cleverly took advantage of the situation and kicked his first major of this term. So we go back to the centre. But geez, I reckon if we have a look at that on the replay a bit later, I reckon it might have only just got in. Pushed away nicely by the Students. Tommy Young has the clearing kick from midfield. Down towards forward 50. Taken over the top by Derricks. Couldn't quite clear it. Bonnie was lurking. Wanted another one. Geez, I reckon if he'd got hold of it, he would have probably kicked it into the Henson pub. And the Sharks, they clear it nicely over the top. Fife tried to go for the ball, but there's clever work there from Barton to prevent any progression. And the ball goes out of bounds.
So they had a chance then, the Sharks, to clear it out of this defensive half. The ball has really got plugged in this kind of position for a lot of the afternoon because of the breeze blowing right to left across your screen. If you've just joined us, thrilling first half. Go back and have a look on Neefle TV tomorrow as the ball came out to Young. He's starting to find a bit of it in this third quarter. Students inside 50. High kick, punched out the back. That was Dimmery who put it in there.
So the standard of footy last couple of weeks in the Neefle competition, it hasn't been first class.
It's lifted a notch this season, hasn't it? Results have been a lot tighter than previous years. The standard, as well as you say, the football's been great to watch, a real spectacle.
You've got two sides that are currently undefeated, but one of them is going to go with a 1-4 record leading into next week. Sydney Uni, of course, have the bye. And Southport, they have their clash next week as well, so maybe they might be able to continue their streak if they can come back here. Ball's gone over the top. Just beautiful. Socket it off the ground. Clever stuff from the Students. Jeez, I was gibbering. I should have been calling. And terrific stuff from the Students. And it's Wilson that has the goal for them. So now their margin goes to 20 points. And wow, what a turnaround for Sydney Uni.
Kicked 3 goals in the space of 7 minutes in this second half. And as you called there, Wilson, it just crumbing at the pack, picked it up. Thought, I'll have a snap here. I'm 30 out directly in front, and that's exactly what happened. So they've got the wind this quarter. We think it's about a 3 or 4 goal breeze to the left of screen. What do the Sharks have installed here for this third quarter? We've only seen the 1 goal kicked to that end all day. As it's tossed up, Lee Dale will go and get it. Young's hot on his case. He'll have to get the handball holding the footy. Great pressure. They'll kick and go here. Xavier Richards went for a run inside 50. Great use of the body. And a strong mark taken by Derricks. He'll line up for his second of this quarter. Great use of the body. Got to the front position. And a chance to kick a 4th straight for the quarter, the Students.
Yeah, the wind has settled down a little bit. So he might just wait for that to clear. But excellent chance for Jacob Derricks and Sydney Uni.
Comes in. As I say, he's kicked 1 already this quarter. Starts it out right. The wind will bring it back to the left. Beautiful kick from Jake Derricks. He's got 2. The Students have 4 for this quarter, and it's out to a 26-point ball game.
Superb stuff from the Students, and especially Jacob Derricks. He just read that wind so well, and it curved back beautifully. Nice looking kick from the moment it left his boot. So 26 points the margin. And what a third term this is proving to be for Sydney Uni. Southport, they seem to have dropped off a little bit. 9 minutes gone into this third term. So we go back to centre's bounce. Players battling for the ball. Austin Lucy on the right of screen. He might try and go for the ball. In fact, he does, but Thurlow tries to get it away. Nicely, cleverly taken by the Sharks. Picked up off the deck over the head of Thompson. Now it comes back for the Sharks. Cleverly worked back inside there to the 10 in Clayton. Clayton kicks it down forward 50. Tried to pick it up by the students, but numbers are strong. Comes back to Hancock, but the ball is smothered. Taken by Dale. Clever work by the Sharks, but great hustle from the students. Ball comes back towards Payne, but he can't quite get it. Barkley did particularly well close to the line, and the ball goes out of bounds. So great hustle by both sides, and the boundary throw-in will be telling. This is a huge opportunity for the Sharks to get themselves back in this contest and try and bring that margin back to 20.
Nothing else. I just need to lock it inside 50, get a couple of repeat possessions. Tossed in. Thurlow did well. Dale was held without it. Had the umpire seat. Push in the marking contest. So it'll be Austin Lucy with the footy. Free kick against Thurlow there for the push in the rucking contest. They'll clear it up the wing and it goes out on the full. Hit a target on the bench where there was 5 of them standing for Sydney Uni. And the free kick will go the way of Jaden Young. Called to go now. Put it on the right boot. Goes high and long to half forward. Pack of players. Good use of the body as it spilled out to Bird. Just ran well, went backwards. Had Dale Young on his case and he got a good kick up the ground. And the students will go forward through Fong.
So they just try to battle through some traffic here, but Sam Fong cleverly finds a gap down towards Hebron, who's in some open space. He now kicks down towards forward 50. Chance for the students. Good towering mark, but couldn't quite be taken there by Derricks. And the ball goes out of bounds as another plane zips over the top of Henson Park. I reckon there's probably a plane every couple of minutes here at Henson. Must be fun for the local residents. It's probably white noise after a while. Ball from the contest comes back towards Dimmery, who puts a towering kick down but can't quite find anybody. Ooh. Come back for Davis, and now it's cleared away by Ellard. Ellard kicks it across. Great work from Payne, who tried to get the footy, but it's strong hustling tackling from the students that will prevent Payne from going any further, and the umpire will call the ball up.
So they've got Sam Barkley set up well just behind the play here for the students, just in case there's a quick kick out from the Sharks, but that won't happen. And the free kick going to Austin Lucy, who copped one high. He'll now go Barkley's way. No one's marked up on him yet. He'll look to play quickly. Did so through Sean Edwards. High and long inside 50 to the hotspot. Looks for a mark. Young from behind. Got hands. Couldn't quite bring it down. Bonnie was lurking. He couldn't find the handle on the footy either. Students with numbers around their stoppage. Round the bodies out on the full. Probably should have taken it over in hindsight, but hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Oh, it's always perfect, 2020.
As the Sharks are look to clear out of defence, they really need to just stop the scoring flow of the students.
Good clearing kick from them. It goes down towards centre half forward. Ball's played away nicely there by Ellard, who pushed the ball across the contest, and the Sharks, they have numbers along the boundary line. Dale's in some open space, needs a fortuitous bounce, gets the ball back in field, gave it away beautifully there to Charlie Ford, who gives the ball back across field. And now the Sharks will try and kick it along the boundary line, down towards centre half forward. Good battle for the ball. Fraser Thurlow lurking on the ball. Now launches inside forward 50 towards goal. And it swings across the face. Geez, that really would have been a difference maker to their confidence if that had gone through. And Sydney Uni will clear it through Wilson. Wilson pushes it away, tries to get possession of it, gives it back. Dimmery tried his best to get the footy, comes back away. Nicely worked there from Baron Hay. Dimmery has the ball, clever kick. Over the top, but cleverly marked there by the Sharks, just taken over the top. Clever work from Reeves. Reeves battles with the ball. Good work there from Tyler Roos in hustle. Just trying to get the ball. Somehow it's still alive, and Austin Lucy will go to ground with it, as well as Jack Hiscox. And it'll be a boundary throw-in right of our broadcast position.
So the Sharks, can they get something out of nothing here? They really need to goal in this third quarter. It was Jed Turner who won it out, but the ball went out of play. And it will be thrown in.
Boston did particularly well there in limited real estate, though.
Yeah.
You've got to hand it to him.
So boundary throw in. Students have dominated this third quarter. As it's tossed in, crumbing it out the front. Fife couldn't find the handle on it, came out the back. Big ruckman, boot to ball, did well to half forward for the Students, and the ball bounces out of the hands of Reece Clark, and it'll be tossed in.
So huge opportunity here for the Sharks to try and get themselves back in this contest. About 14 and a half played in this third term. Terrific game of footy. It's certainly living up to the hype. We hope you're enjoying it, courtesy of Bar TV. Ball's just socket along the ground. Edwards tried to get it but couldn't quite clear it, but it's now taken down towards Barkley, but Barton gives the ball away to Barkley. Barkley kicks down towards centre half forward. Chance here for the Students. Couldn't quite take the mark close to the arc. Comes back along the line. Goes back inside. Away to Manteet. Manteet gives the ball back to the 7 in Davis. And Davis kicks it into the car park. And it'll be a chance now for the Students.
So Bartholomew's will take the free kick. There's a bit of push and shove, and there's a player down behind play here. I missed what happened. It was Austin Lucy who's now getting to his feet. And the free kick's been reversed, so it will go the way of Southport.
Yeah, Jed Turner causing a few issues there, and Austin Lucy taking a bit of umbrage as it's cleared away for the Students.
So good mark taken from behind there. That is Barton. Looks to play quickly. Working the handball. He just had players waiting. Sean Edwards stops props with time and turns it straight over to his opposite number in Allard. Played on. Realised he had nowhere to go, so he'll have to go backwards to go forwards. Hancock waiting. The Students have numbered off well. Hancock has to go. Put it on the left boot, high and long. Got players here. Big fist came from Edwards, and it goes out of play.
Yeah, well
probably could have marked it.
It probably could have, but it was well read there from Edwards because Southport were really coming, and had they taken a mark, they could have probably taken an inside forward 50. So really stopped the flow and momentum of the play there. So the boundary throw in. Pushes away. Barton's just tried to get the ball, so too Tagliabue.
Here we go. Free kick for Turner. Copped one high in the contest.
Turner to have a chance for the Sharks. Jeez, it's a good-looking kick inside forward 50. They fly high, and Barton takes a good mark that clears controls and gets it away for the Students. Now they have a chance over through Richards. Richards kicks to the far side. Now the Students will just try and settle it down. They'll kick it along the boundary line. Good possession of play, but it's marked, but out of bounds there for the Sharks.
Free kick will go the way of the Sharks for a smother. It goes inside 50. Turner from behind couldn't mark. Students with numbers. And they'll look to clear out this side through Bird. Bird got a paddock to work with. Runs out a defensive 50. Goes to Young. Will the boundary line beat him? Or is he out of play? Didn't have control. Bit stiff there, Young. As Manteet lets him know all about it. The former Students player. Been yabbering at it all day, those two.
Tommy Young's, he's taken a bit of umbrage to it.
Tossed in, footy goes on. It went into Young's heel, couldn't pick it up. And a good tackle laid there by Tagliabue. Plenty of heat still in this game. 25-point lead the way of the Students.
So it's pushed away. Tagliabue, clever to Young. Back inside now to Murdoch. And the ball comes away. And now it comes to Thompson. Thompson kicks down towards forward 50. Has some numbers. Fortuitous bounce goes the way of the Sharks. But now they come. Beautiful kick over the top from Lucy, who kicks into some open real estate. Hiscox is coming, but Murdoch clears it for the Sharks. Over the top, goes down towards the arc. Cleverly worked away from the Sharks. Comes back for Murdoch. Murdoch hugs the boundary line with his kick. Down towards the midfield. Taken beautifully there. And now the Sharks will kick it across through Davis. Davis over the top. Couldn't quite take the mark, the Sharks. Ball still in play, but it goes out of bounds as Hebron watches it go over the chalk.
So the Sharks, they've stopped the scoring of the Students. But they need to put a couple of goals on after Sydney Uni banged 4 very early ones on in this third quarter. Hope you're enjoying the game on NEFL TV. It's been a ripper so far as it's tossed in, went out the back of the pack. Students with numbers. Handball came out to Thompson, got plenty of time. Runs and carries inside 50 beautifully. And a good mark taken by Austin Lucy. He'll go back. He's got the wind in his back. I reckon I'd back him with the distance. Goes back, drop punt on the way. How good is that? How good is that from Austin Lucy? He's got his first. They got 5 for the quarter, the Students. And it is out to a 31-point ball game.
That's special stuff for the Students. Great kick from Austin Lucy, using the wind well. Jeez, I tell you what, he ripped it off the boot like a Elastoplast. The proud sponsor of the NEFL competition. Terrific stuff. The crowd, they love that goal. Can't quite repeat what the gentleman down below said, but he enjoyed every bit of that Austin Lucy goal.
So exactly what the Sharks didn't want. 5 goals to zip this quarter. And they're trailing by 31 points in the middle again. What can they muster? They really need one. Boston got the handball out. Tackling pressure came from Bird. Didn't want to give a free, so he put his hands up. He's dived on the footy. How the umpire said. Yep. Free kick. It's all coming up Sydney Uni at the moment.
So they now try and kick it through the midfield. Goes over towards Bartholomew's, who takes an uncontested mark. This is where they're dangerous, the Students. Ball goes nicely away. Hebron puts the kick down towards forward 50. Options left and right. Edwards tried to get the footy, but they watch it go out of bounds.
Oh, it's paid deliberate.
It's paid deliberate, so it'll now be an opportunity for the Students. They'll have it from the boundary line, and Derricks will have the kick in field. Swinging kick, using the wind cleverly, over the top, tried to mark it. Wilson loose on the ball, tried to pick the ball off the deck. Great work from Southport, who now try to clear it. They'll kick it down towards centre wing. Over the top, Cooper tried his best to get it. Barron Hay was clever at the back there for the Students. Southport over the top, comes back away. Nicely played at by Chadwick, using limited real estate. They're out of bounds, but that was great hustle from both teams.
Plenty of pressure out there. So stoppage, middle of the ground. 21 minutes gone, third quarter. 31-point lead to the Students. They only led it by 2 points at half-time. It's tossed in. It came out to Bird. Couldn't find the handle on it. Did well at ground level, though. Lee Dale was straight back onto him. Can't quite get a clearing kick out was Thompson. It ricocheted back to him, and it's held 2. Man on man right around the ground at the moment.
So hasn't the game really opened up in this third term? It's a burst of energy and goals from Sydney Uni that's really opened this one up.
Free kick for a hold going the way of the Students.
Dylan Fife will give the ball backfield. And it'll now be Mitch Thompson that has this chance for the Students. Clever kick over the top. Nicely marked there by Bartholomew's. Bartholomew's looking for options. He kicks it down towards forward 50. Chance for the Students. Ball goes over the top. Southport trying to work it well. Dimmery goes to ground. Pushed away. Wilson had the ball. Cleverly tried to get the ball away. But the numbers are strong for the Sharks. Austin Lucy. Jack Hiscox off the carpet. Bends. Bounces. Tommy Young. Oh, you little Anzac. He did it 2 weeks ago here at Henson. And he's done it again. Brilliant work. It's the Hiscox and Young show here for Sydney Uni.
Wow, the bounce of that footy. Thought it was going to get there, and then Young said, no, make sure of this one, boys. This is our 6th for the quarter. How good was that?
Well, Jack Hiscox will be filthy because I reckon that ball could have gone through it on its own. But Young, as you said, made sure of it. And now the Students, they build on their lead. 37 points the margin.
6 goals straight for the quarter. Goal kicking, 3-12, 10-7. 15 scoring shots to 17.
It's impressive.
It's very good. So we bounced in the middle. And then it will be thrown up as the wind gets hold of that one. $37-point ball game. Tossed up in the middle. Just waiting under it was Lucy as the Sharks will look to go forward. Free kick for a hold. So here we go is Southport. Can they get one? They'll have the wind in the last quarter. It goes short. Player waiting out wide was Manteet. Went over his head. working it out towards the boundary line was Thompson. Wasn't the most elegant football there, but we'll have it thrown in. We'll have a chance to restart.
Some days are diamonds.
Yes.
So boundary throw in to take place on the right side of our broadcast position. Chance now for Southport to really build. They need a strong final turn. Tommy Young, hand pass, good work there from Southport. They kick it in towards Wilkinson. Wilkinson back to the students. Comes away, and the ball will be held just inside the arc, as you can see. And it's about 25 from goal. So ball up. Players battling for possession. Austin Lucy just gets his position. Fraser Thurlow uses his height well. Cleverly tapped away, but it's the students that clear it over the top. Taken nicely, but marked beautifully by the students. And Murdoch will have possession of the footy. And he'll try and find some options inside forward 50.
So Murdoch long and high. Packer players underneath. Top of the goal square. The footy will land. Free kick. And it's going to go the way of Southport at the top of the goal square. So it must have been a lot of holding on going on in that pack. And the goal will be... I think it will be a goal. This will be sweet for Michael Manteet. Picked 2 behinds today. Bit of chatter going on. Drop punt on the way. Geez, he made the goal umpire work. But he's kicked the goal. Much needed goal for the Sharks. It's their first since the 13-minute mark of that second quarter. And it is back to a 31-point ball game.
Big question here, Ed. Southport a chance?
They'll have the wind, Jono. And we've seen six unanswered goals kicked to that end until that goal then from Manteet. So I'd like to say yes. What a great last quarter if it is the case. It's
almost going to have to be an uncharacteristic performance from Sydney Uni, especially the way they've played, well, this year and this game. Of course, they have the bye next week, and Southport take on the Giants. So one thrilling clash to come, and Sydney Uni, or maybe their unbeaten streak continues for another week. So it comes down to Baron Hay, who kicks across far side. Tries to find Hebron, who eventually picks up the scrap. Kicks it along the boundary line, and now Bonnie has the chance for the students. Just looking for some option, needing some plays, calls direction. Kicks it along the boundary line. Good towering kick. Goes towards Delow, but it's taken nicely by Dimmery. Dimmery will now turn and burn down towards forward 50 in the goal square. Derrick's tried to punch the ball away. Cleverly taken there by the Sharks, but the numbers are strong for the students. Tommy Young back to Wilson. The kick is smothered. Bartholomew's kicks it off the deck, but he will kick it wide. And the behind will just go the way of the students. But geez, they had plenty of numbers inside that goal square, but just couldn't quite finish it. But it was strong and determined defence from Southport that just gave them the behind.
So kicking it to himself is Murdoch. Goes along with a big drop punt to the wing. Thurlow, I think that is taking a very strong mark. And he'll look up and realise he doesn't have much to kick to. Went quickly anyway to half forward. Ball will bounce before it. We'll get to the Packer players. Good pressure came from Mitchell Thompson from the students. And it will be thrown up late in this third quarter. Sitting at a 32-point margin at the moment. Is there room for Southport to kick another one? Don't think so from the contest. Vong did well, crumbed it, put it inside 50. High kick, ball fisted away well. Race is on. Go to half forward. Good use of the body by Wilson. He'll get to it first, but he's tackled. Southport with numbers. Handball came out, and it will be thrown in after Ethan Reeves ran out of space.
Geez, hasn't Jake Bartholomew's lifted?
Oh, great third quarter.
Term. Yeah, he's just really shown his presence in so many key areas, both in attack and, of course, we just saw it in defence there. Really improved performance in 2018 from Bartholomew's. Ball's pushed away nicely there. Students have possession of the ball. Comes the way of Bird, who's under some heavy traffic. Was punished in the tackle. The crowd and some of the players don't like the call.
Could have gone both ways, I think. So I think the umpires made the right call there.
Yeah, Bird landed awkwardly there, so it's good to see him back on his feet. Ball up to take place. Tagliabue battling nicely. Turner tried to get the ball away for the Sharks. Boston does particularly well, but Edwards goes to ground with it. And the umpire will come in and another ball up.
Just ticked into 29 minutes gone, 32 points the margin. Umpire says, boys, who's up? Tagliabue got it down. Students with numbers out the back. Thompson was waiting. He's taken high by Turner, but he's a big fella. Umpire maybe blindsided. Picking it up was Clayton. Ducks and weaves. Got the handball backwards. Smothered. Here's a chance again for the students. Fong got a kick. It was partially smothered and it will be tossed in. And a push and shove again by these two top teams.
Yeah, Wilkinson just getting involved there again. Quick change as Tommy Young comes onto the field and Monty Crockmore for the students. So the boundary throw in to take place. Just the left side of our broadcast area. Pushed away. Tommy Young tried to get the loose scraps but might run out of pace. Clever work from the Sharks. And the ball will go out of bounds. They're calling for deliberate there, but won't be paid. So
just seen Craig Bird come to the bench for the students holding that left shoulder. He's got the right one taped. So just doing a bit of stretching. Hopefully it's just a stinger and nothing too serious. First game back for the season today for Sydney Uni. As Southport go inside 50 through Manteet. His kick bounces out of play. And it will be tossed in. Really? Southport, they kicked the only 2 goals to this end of the ground all afternoon. One in both the first and third quarters. Can they get another to get the margin under 5 goals? No one went up in the rucking contest as it's thrown in. Crumbing the ball was Manteet. Drop punt to the top of the goal square. Who wants it as the players fly? Fisted away into some space. Running onto it, Fong for the students. Got a smothered kick out to Crockmore. He couldn't find the handle on it. Going in hard and tough was Allard. And the ball spills out as the students just look to clear it from a defensive 50. Dimmery's there. And the umpire says, give it to me. Let's throw it up in the corridor. Real weird spot for a ball up this kind of area. Don't see it all that often. As there's a whistle, it'll go the way of Southport here. Umpire called it from away from the stoppage. So you'd think there'd be some holding. It will go to Andrew Boston. He's had a pretty good game today. He'll play on quickly, put it on the right boot, goes high and long. Wants the players to fly. 2-on-1 situation. Keeping his feet was Davis. He's taken to ground. Umpire let it go. Ball spilled out. Crockmore's there. He's taken to ground. Umpire circles. Let's throw it up.
So what a battle we're seeing here. We hope you're enjoying it on Bar TV. This needful contest between the 2 top-of-the-table teams, Sydney Uni and Southport. Ball's pushed away nicely there by Hayres for the students. They push it nicely towards the boundary line. And now it'll be Reinhardt that kicks it in field. Clever work from Edwards, who tried to go on the toe. That's clever work from the Sharks.
Really been pinged for holding the ball, Sean Edwards, averaging 36 touches a game coming into today's contest. And he's had plenty of it today. So students just call for calm. Tim Barton says, boys, slow it down. There's not long left. Sorry, it's Baron Hay. So he goes backwards. And you think we'll get a bit of just chipping it around at the moment.
Oh, Richards wanted it on the left side, but he's decided to go Austin Lucy.
Oh.
Jeez, it's a big hit from Clayton.
Oh, and he'll get 50 here, so the umpire paid the mark and then deemed it not in the contest.
Well, maybe the better option was to go that way.
Keep it boundary side, so Austin Lucy, he'll have a chance for the students to snare a late one.
So, margin at that 32 point. There's 32 played in this game. A little bit of synergy here in this third term as Austin Lucy has the kick. It's a good-looking kick, but it just swung away. I think the wind may have picked it up late there, and the ball's just skidded out of bounds on the full. So a chance now for the Sharks. And Wilkinson will try and
blood rule
get it, so the blood rule comes into play. So he'll take a spell on the field, off the field. Got some tape there on that shoulder. You can see just whistling in the wind. Southport through Tom Ellard will now have the chance to clear it. Good kick along centre wing, but it might have gone out in the full. It just has. Fraser Thurlow couldn't quite get it. And now the chance exists for Thompson. Will swing it back. The wind's got hold of that one, but it's bounced fortuitously there. Bonnie, clever pass back in field. Students really on the tail here. Ball comes back. Septate tried his best to get it. Comes away for Ellard for the Sharks, but he's under some traffic. Demery's calling for it. And the umpire will come in. And the boundary throw in as another plane zips over Henson Park. So can they build on their lead here, the students? Pushed away by Lucy. Clever stuff there. Sharks have the numbers, but the students, they are just coming. Bartholomew's can only watch as the ball goes to ground. It was Sam Fong. He's played pretty well today. Had a great performance for the Sydney Swans at the SCG about 3 weeks ago in the opening round against the Giants, and has performed well this afternoon for Sydney Uni. Clearing kick down towards Baron Hay. Juggling act for him. Tapped over the top. Cleverly worked there for Bonnie. Bonnie steps off the right foot. Siren sounds, and that is three-quarter time. So, well, it'll be a Herculean effort for Southport if they can come back and win this game. But it's three-quarter time here at Henson, and it's Sydney Uni leading 10-8, 68 to Southport 4-12-36. It'll be a thrilling contest nonetheless here at Henson Park between these two top-of-the-table sides, Sydney Uni and Southport. It's the students by 32 points, three-quarter time. Stay with us. A final term, a thrilling term, still to come here on NEFL TV. Well, will it be a continuation of excellence or will it be the comeback of the century? Find out over the next 30, 35 minutes in this final term in this top-of-the-table clash here on NEFL TV, courtesy of our broadcast partners, Bar TV. It's been a thrilling game so far here at Henson Park. John O'Farr and Eddie Summerfield in commentary, and it's been a really good contest. And as I said, it could go either way, Eddie. It could be the comeback of the year for Southport. They're down by 32 points, or Sydney Uni, well, they could just continue their great work in that third term.
Get 2 goals, 7 down that end in the second quarter, the Sharks. That's all they need. Well, they need to kick some goals, but if they have that many scoring shots and kick a few more majors, every chance of taking this one home. So, siren sounds, last quarter of footy. Which of these two sides will remain undefeated in season 2018? Ball's banged into the turf, and we'll do it again because the wind just got hold of that one. Students would have had it out too easy. Let's make it fair contest.
Yeah, so we go back to the centre bounce for the restart. Pushed away nicely. Fong tried his best to get the footy for the Students. Dives on it. Jeez, he attacked that like a Jack Russell going after his dinner.
And rewarded as well with a free kick.
Tagley Abboud's in a bit of a contest.
Yeah. Bit of a push and shove. So umpire says no. It's going to go the way of the Sharks. So they'll go forward. Ball will bounce in front of Hancock there. Couldn't find the footy. Good pressure came from Goulden. He's been good today down defence for the Students. Be thrown in. Sharks, as we said at the top of the quarter, they really need the first one. It's thrown in. Ruckman lock horns. And umpires found a free. I think it's going to go the way of the Sharks. It is. So Manteet has a chance to go forward. The forwards are calling for it long to the hotspot. Students plug the hole. Good fist came from the side, and the ball bounces out of play. Real good defensive setup there by Students. One-on-one, had a loose player to send back, and they'll get a throw in that pocket where the footy has been all day.
Oh, yeah, it's been a solid contest so far. No doubt it will continue into this final term. Pushed away nicely. Students battling for the ball. Seb Tate tried to get the ball, but it goes over the top of his head. Comes back the way of Davies. Davies swings it, bends it, back around. Can't quite get it there. And it goes through for a behind. Used the win well there, Ryan Davies, but unfortunately not the scoring possession that they needed. But they have got at least 1 point. So that margin just gets a little bit smaller for them. As now Thompson just tries to go right, now goes left, back towards Young. He pushes it away, but it's great work from Murdoch. Now the big man from just outside the arc. Probably rushed that kick, and it'll miss everything. Had some options inside forward 50. May have just got a little bit overconfident when he got the footy.
He kicked a pearler from the same spot in that second quarter, so he knew the area, but not on this occasion. So the Sharks don't need a first one. Oh, you don't know how he just got free there. Taglaboo, he moved it quickly with an absolute floater to the wing. Ricocheted off the chest of Tommy Young. Got it back. They'll work a couple of handballs. Came back to Young. He had a great third quarter. Moved it to half forward. Got a loose player there. Payne will stand the mark. Goes back, goes long. Who wants it here? Underneath it was Derricks. Couldn't mark. Sharks with numbers. Loose handball came out wide. Reinhard misses.
Had a real chance to score there too, but I'm not sure if it was the wind or maybe a deflection that cost him there. And a great solid kick on it too. And well, the chance goes begging for Sydney Uni, so Southport will be loving that because that sort of thing they need to happen. We spoke about an uncharacteristic final term from Sydney Uni if Southport have got any chances. Fraser Thurlow watches that one out of bounds, as well as Michael Manteet. Hasn't it been a bit spiteful between Manteet and some of the Sydney Uni players? Some of the crowd members are just letting him know which side he plays for now. Great battle this afternoon here at Henson. Pushed away nicely. Thompson just tried to get the footy. Now has possession of it. Good kick along centre wing. Couldn't quite get it to his teammate there. The ball goes out of bounds and Reinhardt sees it go over the chalk, and it'll be a boundary throw in just to the right of our broadcast box.
So the Students, they'll just be looking to See, a couple more minutes tick off the clock. The Sharks, if they're going to mount any comeback, got to do it the next couple of minutes, you feel. As the ball came out, Edwards collided into his teammate. Good to see Bird running around out there, high up and under. Teammate killer that one. As the Sharks, the ball will find itself in the hands of Tate. He goes inside 50. Chance here for Southport. Good use of the body there by Davis. Got it off the ground somehow. Hancock runs onto it, off the ground, misses to the left. Oh, you feel that just had a chance to spark something. But it's just a behind.
Geez, if Hancock had kicked that, I mean, the only option he had was to do what he did, and, well, it just sort of went a little left of where he needed it to go. But anyway, the Sharks, they're coming. Now the pressure goes back on Sydney Uni as Barkley now has possession from Baron Hay. Ball over on the far side. So now they have a chance now through Hebron. Hebron will kick long and strong through the midfield, down towards centre half forward. Bonnie has possession now. Students battling nicely. Kicks it over the top. Derricks couldn't quite take it, but it comes back the way of Young. And now Southport. They'll just take their time with this. They seem to be the better side in the early stanza of this final term. Payne couldn't quite get it. Nicely picked up there by the Students. Kicked over on the far side. Goulden has possession of the ball. And we'll just calm things down on the arc.
Geez, he had Bartholomew's out wide on the broadcast side. He had Reinhardt as well calling for it, but instead the short option.
He's found Hiscox. And now Hiscox has this chance. He's got 1,000 options in front of him, but he'll kick laterally. And over on the far side, there is Hebron. So now they'll just repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Bartholomew's couldn't quite get it. Barton, magnificent hands through the middle. Hand pass over the top. Bartholomew's ball goes nicely. Away the Students go through Hayres. But the ball is a bad one. And now the Sharks will kick it down towards centre half forward. There's a battle for the ball. Davies on the fly. Gets the ball. Kicks back in field. Needed a fortuitous bounce. Couldn't quite get it. The 2-on-1 attack comes for Sydney Uni. And now Hiscox on the fly. Bounces once. Goes again Hiscox. Outside the arc, kicks down towards centre wing, and the ball will go out of bounds over on the far side.
Had a couple of options inboard there. Lucy was waiting, but instead out on the full. Just wait for the crowd to go and pick it up. Ruzi over there, just ducking and weaving. So the free kick will go the way of Ethan Reeves. I think it was. So he goes inside 50. Thurlow went back with the fight. Big fist came from Cooper for the Students. Back outside defensive 50. Murdoch, he's taken and drilled into the turf. And it'll be thrown in.
Jeez, Ruzi, he's the best dressed man at Henson Park, I reckon.
By a long way.
He's got the bag of fruit on. Sitting over on the far side, watching his young fella, Tyler Roos.
Probably off to the Giants game out at
Spotless.
At Spotless.
First game for Lions.
First game for GWS at home this season. So throw it in. Southport slightly in attack. It will come to Turner. He rucked by himself. Inside 50 through Dale. Big fly from behind. Ball spilled out. Flick off the ground. That was by Thurlow. Can Southport muster here? Barkley did well for the Students. Dived on, put a bit of pressure. And it was in the back because Barkley he did dive on, as I said. If he went the bomb, he probably would have been okay, and there'll be a tough chance of goal here. Charles Ford. He's kicked 3 for the season, played all 3 games so far for Southport. He'll weave around with the Bunana, around the body to the goal line, and it's punched through for one behind by Goulden.
Great option there from Charlie Ford. Jeez, if it had maybe about a centimetre more height, we'd be talking about a major. It was cleverly touched there over the line by the Students. So just the behind, but they're coming, Southport. Sydney Uni clear it off their goal line. Oh, that's a solid mark there from Charlesworth. Now they have an option. They kick into some open real estate. Find their man over on the far side. That's Tyler Roos. He kicks down towards the right pocket, but it's punched out there by the Students. The spoil was on and it was successful. And now the boundary throw-in to take place on that right pocket. So Southport are coming. We're about 9 minutes played in this final term. Have we got a grandstand finish coming here this afternoon at Henson in this top-of-the-table clash? Davies tried his best to get the footy. Great work from Bird, but the numbers are strong for Southport. Smothering kick down towards goal.
Was it
it's
touched?
there! Or is it?
It's touched.
Touched on the line.
Off the boot.
So I thought for a moment that it might have just snuck in, but touched on the line, and the students will clear it from the goal square.
They look to clear up this side, but nothing really doing until Hiscox found some space. It's been one of the good players today for the students. Found plenty of it, snagged a goal as well. Go short to Barkley. He went quickly. Underneath it was Thurlow, couldn't mark. Ball came to ground level, head over at Murdoch, couldn't get away with it. Reynard's there, he also couldn't get away with it, but the handball came out to Charlesworth. Dished it off quickly to Clayton, inside 50, shot at goal even, bounces. Another behind for the Sharks. It's hardly a surprise this season. 4 goals, 17. 21 scoring shots to 19 the Sharks' way, and they're trailing this ball game by 28 points.
Yeah, they're doing it the hard way, the Sharks, and I think they're panicking when they get that ball just on the arc. They've got numbers inside forward 50, and that's where Sydney Uni have been strong this afternoon, just using those options and just calming it down when they get the footy just on that centre half region. As the students now clear the footy, it's a nice little kick through the middle. Be marked over the top there nicely by Bird. Bird will just kick it laterally over on the far side to Barkley. Barkley now has some options. He'll just calm it down and kick it back. And now the students through Baron Hay will have it. He kicks it over Dimmery's head and finds Bird. Bird kicks it back infield. Nicely played by Edwards. Edwards, hand pass cleverly back to Goulden. Goulden runs around the umpire. Kicks it nicely picked up off the midfield from Dimmery. And now the students, they're just calmly building something here. Goes down towards Tagliabue, used his height well. Battle for the ball is a good one. But it'll eventually go to ground. And the ball up will be called. So 11 gone in this final term.
Haven't had a goal yet, Jono.
Southport have had plenty of chances too.
5 behinds to 1 in this quarter. As the students they're kicking to the right-hand side of your screen as the handball came out to Edwards. Just a kick into space and said, Wilson, go find it and do something special. Weaved back around onto his right boot. Turnover. Fife was there. He's taken to ground. Umpire circles. Students players want holding the footy. But he didn't have that much prior, did Fife, and it'll be tossed up. 47 goals, 63 for the season. Ooh. The Sharks. Goal kicking will be mentioned during the week. So the students are in attack. Geez, Thurlow could have given away one high, but the students will go forward again. High up and under, deep to the pocket, punched away from Lucy. And we'll have a throw in right-hand forward pocket for Sydney Uni. Next couple of weeks for these two teams. Uni, as we've mentioned, have the bye. Then they play Canberra and then Apsley. And for Southport, they're back at it. They've got a tough run coming. They've got the Giants next week, Apsley, and then the Swans. So, real interesting for these two teams over the next month of footy.
Ball's cleared away, comes back nicely to Bird, steps off the right foot, kicks it back in field, juggling out from Lucy, couldn't quite maintain it, still has possession, tried to find Dimmery, Dimmery off the carpet, Tommy Young's battling for the footy, comes back the way of the students, battling it nicely as the Sharks. Now has a clearing kick and it's a good one, down towards Chadwick. Chadwick, has he got the mark?
Bird.
It's gone to Chadwick. So now they have a huge chance here. Sydney Uni, and Bird is the man that has been given the mark. He'll kick across cheekily there, and it'll be Thompson.
He's just in the right spot at the right time. Bird then in the air, as you'd expect from a bloke with the last name Bird. Just used his body so well and just his experience to see Thompson in a better spot, closer to goal. They haven't kicked a goal down this end all day, the students.
I thought Brandon Chadwick had enough of it to get it, but not the case, as now the students have a chance through Thompson. From about 45, it's a good-looking kick.
I think it's there.
And it's there. He put the fist in the air before it went across the line. Oh, that's clever stuff from the students, and a much-needed goal to give them some confidence in this final term.
How's a little celebration there? Just gave it a bit of a wing, did Mitchell Thompson. First for the afternoon.
Yeah, Damien Bonney did it here about 2 weeks ago. And it was down the other end at Henson. But yeah, they can really celebrate. Yeah, he was confident. And that confidence has really led to the success of Sydney Uni in 2018. They had a disappointing back end of 2017. It was injuries that really cost them. So we go back to the centre bounce.
Geez, big fist forward came from Davis, but the students with numbers again. High and long inside 50, running back with the fight. Really good, and the Sharks will look to clear up this broadcast side. Payne the target. He was perhaps held on to. Umpire said no. And it will be a throw-in. Been very good today, the Sharks. Had plenty of opportunities, but the students just a little bit cleaner, and perhaps because they've played together a bit longer, have just clicked well. That was grabbed out of the ruck by Davis. Umpire let it go. Boston went long for the Sharks. Can they spark something out of nothing here? Hancock to the top of the goal square. Johnson underneath. He hasn't had much of it today. He'll run in and kick a goal. His first of the day. And it was the best bit of play I think the Sharks have had since probably the second quarter. They kicked their first of this last term.
Well, that goal has finally come for you, Ed, and it was building nicely for the Sharks.
First goal since the 25-minute mark of that third quarter. They used it quick. That's all they needed to do. Use it quick. And Johnson, he's been down there all season. He's second in the comp going into today for goals kicked, and yet I think that'd be one of the first times we've seen him in a bit of space in that forward 50.
You ever thought about coaching?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, well, there was plenty of vision there, just the way that you described that play. That's all they needed to do as we go back to the centre square. Ball's cleared nicely by the students, but the Sharks have lifted a little bit as Tagliabue kicks it down towards centre half forward. It's a juggling act to get the ball in the contest. Comes away to Bonney. Clever work from him. Tries to get it off the ground. Great stuff from Chadwick. Ball goes nicely there. Goes over the top to Charlesworth. Comes back in field nicely. There to the 34 in Roos. Roos kicks it back downfield, and Thurlow now will have a chance. And it's a good kick down towards Dale, but the mark is taken there by the students. Picked up off the scrap. Chance here now from Johnson. Johnson kicks down towards forward 50. Barton's on the tail, and he'll just lose the possession of the ball. Oh. Southport have the numbers. Jeez, I think it was Seb Tate that came in there late.
Geez, Barton, he's lucky he fumbled then, because if he had taken clean possession, probably could have got done for holding the footy. So
it was Payne that just came across there late. I thought it was Seb Tate, but pushed away from the clearance. Chance here now, battling under some pressure. Hancock, clever work across the face of goal. It's marked over on that far side. And now Johnson has a chance here for Southport to really make this contest interesting.
So, as I said before when he kicked that goal, haven't seen much of him today at all, Mitch Johnson. He's kicked one a minute ago. He's now thought, oh, this is all right, this footy stuff.
Well,
Gonna kick two in a minute.
Damien Bonney can be that late-term player. Maybe Mitchell Johnson is that equivalent for Southport. As the Qantas jet rips over, there's a chance here now for Johnson and Southport. And it's straight between the posts. So Southport, they are coming, using the wind to their advantage. And haven't we got a great ball game? 11-9, 75 plays 6-17-53.
So what do they need? 4 goals? What is there? Probably about 6-7 minutes left of actual playing time. Still on it. They've got the wind. They've looked good over the past couple of minutes.
22 points the margin.
4 goals. Can they do it? I'd like to think so.
The way they're playing, I think they can.
Well, they got a chance to go forward. Davis this time is wrapped up before he could fist it to half forward. We'll do it all again. Tom Young, who's outstanding in that third quarter, found plenty of the footy and really set up that 6-goal straight run that the students have to set up this lead that they've got. booting it out of thin air was Edwards. Did well, had a running player, Crockmore. He just puts it high with the pitching wedge inside 50. Going back with the fight, Wilkinson. He takes a good mark. He'll move it quickly. He's got a player loose there on the wing in Thurlow. He marks strongly over Mitchell Thompson. Looked to play on. Realised he didn't have much forward. He's got Payne loose forward, but he looks to go a bit longer than that. To a half-forward position. Ball goes high in the wind. Out the back of the pack. Running onto it was Chadwick. Puts it high out of play on the full. And the students have a chance to take a bit more time off the clock.
So a real solid clash here this afternoon as Hebron just fetches the ball. Pressure really applied here on Sydney Uni. It's a good kick from Hebron. Goes down towards centre wing. Punched away. Cleverly taken there by Edwards. Just pushes it back. Numbers are strong for Sydney Uni through the midfield. They come back in field. Kick it down towards centre half forward. It's a beautiful mark by Fong. Fong tries to play on and does so. Kicks it down forward 50. Hiscox has a chance. Just battling beautifully in that far right pocket. And the ball will go out of bounds. Probably ran out of real estate there, but it was solid pressure from the Sharks. Geez, what are we...
Just ticked on to time on.
20 minutes gone in this term. Southport, I think they just might run out of time, I think, here, but you never know.
So they're in attack at the moment, kicking into the wind other students. Thurlow went the big double fist in the rucking contest, and they've got players out wide. Dale calls for it short. The kick instead goes longer to a one-on-one. Payne did well, got it on the second grab. And he'll look to move it quickly. They've really got to go if they're going to make a fist of it. The Sharks goes high and long to half forward. Barton, it was pushed in the back after he dropped the mark. And he'll take a free kick for the students. He's got Hiscock cross half back, but goes to Richards a little bit deeper in defence. Just the experience slowing things up. They need to be man on man here, the Sharks. The students will be very happy just to chip it around, rack up a couple of possessions. Richards goes inboard to Barkley. Bit too easy for Uni.
So Barkley has the contest, kicks across field. Just taking their time here, the students. Down towards Goulden. Picks it up on the half volley. Great work from Manteet in defence. It's caused a few headaches for the Sydney Uni players, Manteet. Goulden just kicks back. Chance now for the students. And it'll be Cooper at the back. He goes on the charge. Kicks down centre wing. Doesn't have too much tail. No, it just gets there. Cleverly worked by Bartholomew's to keep the ball in, but it's come back the way of the Sharks. Goes the way from Murdoch. Murdoch, clever pass back in field. Nicely worked from Charlesworth. Charlesworth, Thurlow tried to get over it, but Tommy Young through the middle. Clever work. Nice work from Fong. Back through the middle. Goulden has it for the students. Through the middle, over on the far side. They've got something building through Hebron. He kicks it down towards forward 50. Derricks and Bonnie are the men on the ball, but it comes the way of the Sharks. Bonnie never giving up on the ball, just tries to battle it. And eventually it'll go to ground. So in that left pocket.
Here. Yeah, holding the footy. He just dived on it, the Sharks defender. Didn't have many other options, truth be known. And it was a really good forward set up there from Bonnie and Derricks. Just worked the defenders beautifully, the two forwards.
So Bonnie has this chance, and I think this might ruin any chance of a comeback for Southport if he kicks a goal. Bonnie, he's got mixed form with set shots, but on this occasion, he cannot be denied. Damien Bonnie adds another goal to his collection of 2018. And the students, they go further in front.
Just a bit of a Stevie J snap around the body then from Bonnie, as you do from a set shot from that distance these days. Yeah. Three this afternoon, kick two in the, I think it's the second quarter, and the first quarter.
Former Geelong, now Giant.
Yes.
Of course, he'll be looking for a big game.
So back in the middle. Last stages of this round 4 clash What a great game it's been. Students led it by 16 at quarter time. The Sharks fought back in that second term. It was a 2-point ball game at half time. Got out to 32 points at three-quarter time after the Students banged on 6 in a row in that third quarter. And they've managed to just keep their noses in front in this final term as the Sharks go forward again through Boston. Got fisted out the back, came to Barton, scrapped up beautifully. Richards alone in the defensive goal square, came across the face. He's got Crockmall there. It'll bounce over the head of the pack. Crockmall will find it. Had time to dish a handball off to Dimmery. Went back again. The Students hack it forward to a wing position. Derrick's with the work to do. 2-on-1. Sharks with numbers. Young did well. Going back in, and he'll cop one high for his efforts. And the free kick will go to Crockmall.
Monty Crockmall has been a solid player this afternoon and throughout the 2018 season. So it looks as though the Students are going to maintain that unbeaten streak as they go into the bye next week. The Sharks, they play the Giants. That should be a thrilling clash. You'll be able to see all the action through Bar TV on the NEFL website through the live streams as Tagliabue kicks it down towards forward 50. It's nicely marked there by the Sharks.
Oh, no, it's
had
not.
some numbers, but the umpire doesn't like it.
I think there was a bit of a push in the contest there, Jono.
Okay, so it's going to come back for Austin Lucy. Now, this young recruit has a chance to put some more points, but he'll cleverly kick it towards the goal square, and it's taken magnificently by Ned Reinhardt. Jeez, that was beautiful stuff. Almost Plugger Lockett style. Just coming at the ball. Remember how Plugger used to come at the ball like that?
Take it in front of his face.
Obviously a little bit of size difference, although Plugger's looking pretty good these days. Certainly not the shape or
Not the
weight.
match fit Plugger.
Correct. So Reinhardt has this chance for Uni to cause more pain for the Sharks. Oh, geez, I thought he'd missed it right, but he swung it left. Beautiful stuff from Reinhardt and the Students, and they build on their lead. Terrific stuff from Sydney Uni, just really hustling inside that forward 50 pocket, and the results, well, they were pretty to watch.
Out to 35 points. Are we happy with this result, the Students? Just a nice little percentage booster.
36 points was the margin against Redland 2 weeks ago at this same venue. And we're creeping closer to that full-time siren. 26 and a half gone in this final term. Careful of the old 10 by 50s. You don't want them dropping on someone's loaf of bread.
Plenty of wind here today, so tossed up again in the middle. Ruckman do battle on another clearance you think will come the way of the Students. Go forward again. Could be a push in the back in the marking contest. Umpire let it go. This players scrimmage again. It will be thrown up with the Students in attack. Tagliabue's been good in the ruck today. I'd say he's taken the chocolates home from that contest. I think he'll probably get another chance here to apply his craft as the tackle's laid by Davis for the Sharks.
Well, this battle, it's certainly lived up to its hype right through the week. Plenty of back and forth between some of these players, especially Manteet, the Uni boys, as it's pushed away by the Sharks. Cleverly worked by Fife. Nicely kicked away by Boston towards the midfield. Fortuitous bounce goes the way of the Sharks, but it's solid work over the top there from the Students and Hayres that sees the man put to ground. So there'll be a ball up just the left-hand side of the centre square. Windy conditions, quite cold conditions here in Sydney and Marrickville. Winter is sort of coming a little bit early after an extended summer. Tagliabue away to Bird. Bird kicks down towards forward 50. Just juggling act over the top. Great work from Edwards, who settles it. Kicks it back in towards Fong. Fong just waits, holds up the kick. It goes away for the Sharks, and they'll kick along the centre wing. And Johnson is in some space. Just pushes one away, waits for the troops to come. Johnson pushes away Barkley. Kicks from 65, has the wind at his back. Good looking kick towards goal, but it'll go left and go wide and go through for a behind.
Kicked 2 last quarter goals as Johnson. Needed himself to kick 2 there. Probably could have run on. It's the Students bring it out of defence. Just look to chip it around. 29 minutes gone in this final quarter. Got a lot of good players today. Everyone has really turned up for Sydney Uni. High kick, big fire from behind. Couldn't bring it down. It was Bird waiting at the fall of it. Did well, crumbed left, right, then got it up to half forward. Could have been a bit of holding in that contest. Umpire let it go. Did well. He'll take a bounce running through midfield. The students pushing forward again. Handball came out. Shot on goal. Go to the top of the square. Derricks is there. Call wanted a free kick. Play the footy, mate. Goes through for a behind.
So the Sharks to clear it off their goal square. And it'll be Tommy Ellard that has the clearance. Good kick from goal square. Almost goes probably 50 or 60 metres, really. It's taken away by Tagliabue. Pushed away nicely by Dale. He's got Sean Edwards on his tail. And the umpire says, let's ball it up, lads. Just to the right, as you can see on the centre square. Pushed away through the contest. Great work from Dale. Clever work from Chadwick as well. Students battling for the ball. Now Chadwick has possession of the footy. Comes away nicely there to Clayton. Clayton through the midfield. Good kick back towards forward 50. Chance, but the ball's come loose.
Free kick downfield here. He is pushed after he kicked it then, and it will go to Johnson. So he'll have a chance to kick goal number 3 for the quarter. And you'd think, judging on his last kick, distance will not be a problem.
Well, let's see if that's the case here. It's a much-needed goal. Oh, I think the Sharks may run out of time as we're approaching that 30-minute mark of this game. 34 points the margin in favour of the students. Now Johnson will try and bring this back to 28. Well, it won't make much difference. It's a good-looking kick from the boot. It's gone wide of the post, so the siren sounds as you heard in the background. It is full time here at Henson Park. Sydney Uni, they continue their dominant win streak, and it's the first loss of the 2018 NEFL season for the Southport Sharks. It's been a thrilling contest. Sydney Uni, the final score, 13-10-88 in favour of Southport, 6-19-55. A terrific contest. Ed Summerfield, how did you see those 4 quarters?
It was a game of the wind played a big factor we saw early. As I mentioned during the call there, students dominated that first quarter with the wind. The Sharks, they found a way back into it, but as has been the case for the first couple of rounds, goal kicking again has hurt them. 25 scoring shots they had this afternoon to 23. So they had more shots on goal than their opposition, and they've lost by pretty much 5 goals. So that'll be something to work at for the rest of the season. They will now chance to regroup. Big game next week against the Giants. The students, though, how good are you feeling going into a bye next week? You've got a third quarter where you put together 6 goals on the trot, all went through the middle, looked really good against the top side of the competition coming into the round, and week off before a couple of big games coming up against Canberra and Apsley, and Canberra, who you've already beaten earlier this year.
Yeah, it's been a terrific contest. We hope you've enjoyed the 4 quarters here. Sydney Uni next week, they can have a week off, so their unbeaten streak continues for at least another week. Southport, they'll be hoping to bounce back when they take on the Giants next week. You'll be able to see all those games on NEFL TV. Head to those live streams. The next game on NEFL TV, it'll be the Swans and Hornets. It'll be live next Saturday. Myself and Adam Santarosa will call all the action from 3:45 at the SCG. We hope we can have your company for that coverage. Last time they met, Sydney Uni, they won by 87 points. Here this afternoon, it's been a win to the students by 33 points. On behalf of Eddie Summerfield, the Bar TV crew, and the entire NEFL media team, my name is John O'Farr. It is goodbye from Henson Park.
This year.